Okay, kids, here we find ourselves once again. It is Tuesday afternoon. What is the date today? It's actually February 10th. 12 days from now, I'll be turning 68 years young. 68 years young. Welcome, everybody, and grateful, obviously, for all you folks showing up for another episode of Rachel's Ghost. Now, how are we doing? We got to get the mic over. My producer telling me. Folks, I don't know if you know, but I sure know. I love Hollywood. I'm a big old timey Hollywood person. By the way, producers, everybody got their wrench here. Timothy Henry's out there. Timothy, you got a wrench, do you, son? All right. So this is groovy. And so, Sue, you've got the program going, so you can police the joint for me. Happy birthday to Amanda. I turned 43 years, 43 years young today. Holy smokes. Once upon a time, I would have sworn 43 was like wow, old, middle age, and all this. And now I think of 43, Sue, just a kid. You're a baby, Amanda. Holy smokes. Hmm. Well, we could cue up the birthday song. Anyway, anybody do we have any death hags in the crowd today? Death hags. You know what a death hag is? Death hag is somebody that's enamored of celebrity death. When a celebrity passes away, and a death hag likes to know about how they died, when they died. There used to be, and to my knowledge it probably still is out there. I haven't referenced it in a long time. The world changed, it became kind of obsolete in some way because of artificial intelligence and other internet vehicles like Wikipedia and Grokopedia now. But it used to be called the dead people server. So you'd go, when did William Frawley died. When did William Frawley die? And then you could look it up and you could find it. Indeed, Novice Nick, thank you so very much. Absolutely. A lot of talent here, kids. I love Hollywood. I honestly, I really do. Sin City. I guess they call Vegas Sin City. But, I read the book years ago, Hollywood Babylon. A lot of it turned out to be fallacious and kind of exaggerate a lot of, BS associated with it. But having said that, Hollywood still does have its share of lurid tales and the rest of it. Okay, well, we can do a birthday thingy. Apparently, we've got a link for it. So I've got a lot of windows open up here. It was a little uncharacteristic, but it is what it is. So for today's show, we need them. I got to do live. I got to go into my thing here. Okay, mute that. All right, here we go. We got this. Okay, pause. Amanda, we're here to, February, a lot of people, summer loving had me some fun, right? John Travolta, with Grease, summer loving had me some fun. We got friendly down in the sand. Anyway, okay, let's go. Vinyl Community okay. I guess this is going to be the one we want. Remastered, the remastered version. Rachel, let's go. Holy, so my birthday greetings. Here we go, Amanda. This is for you. Wow. How good is that? How good is that? All right. Me, I'm love. That is the words we live by on this channel. Me, I'm love. Anyway, I want to thank David Donnelly for providing the entertainment there as creative. I love the guitar, the squelch of the guitar. It's so good. All right, folks. Anyway, hello, one and all, and happy birthday, Amanda. So I love Hollywood. I am a self-professed death hag. I like going to cemeteries, look at the gravestones, walking around, filming them, and I like other people that do the same thing, and I like watching them. I just watch the coin, the phrase "death hag" was created, I think, or popularized at any rate, minted by Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed Tours, late of Los Angeles. I think he had to move out. He couldn't really afford to join it anymore. Our good friend Richard Dolan joins us today. Attaboy. Attaboy, Richard. We're glad you're here. Anyway, so he coined the phrase death hag, and he had his wasn't the dead people server, but he had like a website devoted to Hollywood celebrity deaths, and like he went out where Sal Mineo, right? Rebel without a cause. The great James Dean film, 1955. And James Dean plays the troubled teenager. You're tearing me apart. You know that thing. He had Thurston Howell the third. Jim Backus played his dad. His dad was a little effeminate kind of thing. He's got the apron on. It offends the boy. Anyway, Sal Mineo's in there as Apollo. He's his good friend Apollo. And poor Apollo in real life, I guess he was a gay guy, and he ends up like he's in the backyard of his apartment building. And I guess he's making a deal. Something goes down and he gets himself stabbed. So Scott Michaels for Dearly Departed Tour, he goes along and he actually lies down. It was here or over here, exactly, where Sal Mineo's corpse was found. And he goes, lies down. I can't believe the audacity of the guy to do it, but he doesn't. And that's Scott. And so he's a man after my own heart. He's a gay guy. And he spent some time in London. And he had to close up shop on his Dearly Departed Tour. So he'd take people up to CeeLo Drive and where the Manson murders, all that. I'm sure a lot of you follow him. He's an interesting guy. Anyway, I just watched one he did a few months ago where he went to I think it was Ravenscourt or something. Sounds like something out of Hogwarts, the kid, the wand, whatever he was, the glasses, the scar. Anyway, Harry Potter, that's it. And so you're probably thinking that, one of the things like, oh, yeah, I'm from Ravensclaw. Anyway, he goes in there and he visits this lady, a lovely lady who's active on Instagram with a thing on Instagram called Tell Me, Tell Me. So head over there if you like this kind of thing. And so he's over at Mae West's apartment, the old apartment. Ringo was there. Jen, Ringo was there. A whole bunch of people are there. And she's got in the apartment all sorts of celebrity knickknacks, things once owned, like James Garner stuff and all the rest of it. Tom Petty pillows. Anybody else got any Tom Petty pillows? Let me drop a link for this thing so you can watch it. Scott's a good guy. I'd love to meet this guy because, like I say, and he loves Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was friends with a lot of the cast over there. So if you don't know, if you're late to the party on Scott Michaels and Dearly Departed Tours, check him out. He's got a great YouTube channel, and it's macabre. Okay, let's make no ifs, ands, or buts. It's very macabre what he do. But I like it. I dig it. What can I tell you? Sad bums. I won't let you get timed out, son. I'm going to fix that right now. Okay, you're wrenched. Sue will protect you, sad bums. Don't you worry about that. Everybody's going to last a good long while. As long as you behave yourself and do jokes and humor in good spirit, it's all good. I'm also happy about it. The ladies who wrote happy birthday, and that's about copyright. It's nice you don't get dinged. They lost that. It went into the public domain. They were nuts about it, but they lost their rights to it. Now it's gone into the public sphere. So you can play happy birthday till the cows come home in 2026. So anyway, Scott Michaels, please check out the link. Uh, there it is. That's Dearly Departed Tours. If you like Hollywood, and I like Hollywood, I've been to Hollywood a number of times. And, I've been down to Rodeo Drive and
Say hi to Mark from Pirate Radio.
San Monica Boulevard. Pirate Radio, welcome to the show. Where's Mark? Hey, Mark, you got a wrench from Pirate Radio. I like the title. Boy, oh boy, are you in a boat? Do you live in a boat, Mark? Hi, Mark says Instant Karma. We love Instant Karma. John Lennon fan. If I wasn't so blurry here, I'm not blurry, but my background, I got John Lennon stuff all over the place. He's my favorite Beatle. I love John Lennon. As a matter of fact, it may interest some of you to know that a pair of John Lennon's glasses, actual glasses, resides in the apartment of Mae West, the former Miss West, who, passed away in 1980, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, we got a good show for you today. A lot of promos. We got to do promos. Got a lot of artists. I'm seeing a lot of flowering. Pennsylvania bound, Richard Dolan goes, I would love to go to Hollywood. I acted in Hollywood. I actually acted a few months ago. I had the distinct pleasure of showing you all my Star Trek adventure trip. Yeah, John, rest in peace, John. Absolutely. So, Mark, Pirate Radio, do you live on a boat? Pirate radioing out there? Pirate Radio is awesome. All right. Well, we're glad to have them here. I'll tell you that much. Pirate Radio, huh? I like the movie, the boat that rocked, with my cousin Reese Evans. Speaking of Hollywood, Reese Evans, little Welsh lad. He's my second cousin, my half second cousin. His grandfather, and my granny were half brother and sister. That's how I'm related to him. Isn't that wild? Anyway, boy, oh boy, so much going on. Tokyo Record Style. Brian joins us. Greetings, Rachel Supian. It's National Foundation Day. Kenko Kinen no Hei. Japan commemorating mythical founding Japan by the first Emperor Jame in 660 BC. Jame created it all. I think that's wonderful. Anyway, happy birthday, Japan. Nippon. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, within the next decade, the majority of Universal Monster classics are going to be entering public domain. They're cashing out every second until then, and we'll try to continue copyright. I don't think they'll be able to. And it's all based on properties by Bram Stoker, for one thing, right? That's an issue. So, everything goes public domain eventually, right? The Rachel's Ghost Show. Gosh, in another 100 years, there'll be a new Rachel's Ghost donning the mantle, entertaining you all at every turn. So our good friend, there's so many people I want to promote today. One of them, I'm going to go to Bandcamp for a couple. Boy, you know who I want on the show again? I haven't seen him in a long time. David Pedrosia, First Boy on the Moon. I love his song, Drown It Out. I play that frickin' thing all the time. I love Drown It Out.
Are you going to promote Dagon?
I'm going to promote Dagon. I was going to promote Nicktronic right away, but I'll go to Dagon since my producer just jumped in. So he's Power on 8. Here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this may look mysterious, power on and blah, blah, blah. But this is, in fact, our friend Dagon. And you can buy his music, and please support him, because then he can buy more cool toys and gear, which is important. A bigger apartment, a deluxe department on the west side of town. Make myself a bit bigger. Do you like me big or small? We don't like you at all, Rachel. Oh, you sons of bitches. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there is the link on Bandcamp. Get over there. The very minimalist you could ever do is at the minimum thing you could do is just go over and follow him. Give him a follow over there. Please support independent artists. So this is a big deal. Okay, Jen, have you been over to May's apartment? 7647, the Ravencroft Apartments. I've been there because you're California. So Are you Southern California, Jen? Are you up in the Bay? I never remember these things. But anyway, that's cool. That's cool. You're down by San Diego or something, are you? It's like 2 hours away or something. Anyway, uh, okay, and yeah, we got Richard Dolan. Wow, you're lucky, Jen. I just want to go once. Yeah, but think about that. Richard, have you ever been to Gettysburg? You're in Gettysburg. You could go. I'm near San Francisco. All right. I like them Deftones. I know, Eddie. You sure do. Deftones. The Universal soundtracks, Monsters. I just bought the box. I can't think of Universal Monsters. I'll think of my friend Joe Mayo. I love Joe. Joe, big shout out wherever you are. Sometimes Joe gets a chance to drop by here. So if you're lurking, Joe, much love and a big salute to you and Danny. We love Joe Mayo. He knows a thing or two about the Universal Monster series. The Universal Monster soundtracks are interesting, Joel. Hans J. Salter, especially, and Franz Waxman. Not great sound quality, mind you, but still, you're going to get the Wolfman Frankenstein meets the Wolfman Mank, etc., etc. So, anyway, very cool, very cool. So, this is Dagon. Can you believe it? And the music's really good. So, I've been trying to get him up here on the show. So maybe one of these days I'm going to get him and we're going to put him up here, right? But he does these videos. He was communicating with me on the Instagram a little bit. He said, "Hey, Rach, I use a special program which allows me to do the stuff, and the videos are fun. They're entertaining. You know, they've got that AI kind of buzz about them. But when you're on a shoestring budget and people aren't buying your music enough, well, the more nickel you throw at this guy, the more nickel you throw at him, then he'll be able to do even bigger and better projects for everybody. And the music's quite good. And I'm going to point to this one. This one here is quite Beatley. If you love the Beatles, this thing, John is probably horrified to hear me say that, but it's in my mind. I listened to it. I told Sid it's kind of Beatley. It's fab, fab. Okay, Rage. Scott Michaels went inside May West. I know. I dropped the link earlier. Abba Dabba Dooba. Okay, Abba Dabba Dooba. I already dropped the link for it. Okay, I already done due diligence. All right, now. So anyway, please subscribe to John Dagon. All right. So he's the Power 8. Power 8 is his super code name or something. I don't know. I can't keep up with these independent artists. They all got their own buzz. This next artist that I want to share, next independent artist, this kid I really want you to support too. I want you to do them both. Ava Gardner or Rita Hayworth, Frank Sinatra. I'm sorry I have to disqualify myself. I done them both. All right, Frank. Okay, so the next one is this one. Okay, this is Nicktronic. This is a compact disc. So Dagon hasn't, to my knowledge, hasn't created physical media yet. He's going to, but he hasn't done it yet. But Nicktronic's got physical media. I own a copy of this. This is experimental ambient music. So if you like stunty, if you like, the kind of groove that stunty likes, this is it. It's spacey. It's out of worldly. It's a vibe, it's all mood. Light some incense if you're in Manchester. Light some incense and tune in on Nicktronic. But in all seriousness, folks, if you could support Nick's effort and get over there, I dropped a link in the thing. Please give him a follow at the very least you can do, and give some of his music a spin. And if it's the kind of thing you like, please support him. It's so important. And these artists, they're independent. I'm sure sometimes they feel like they're yelling in a canyon with no echo, because they aren't famous yet. And they're just doing the music they love. And, nothing greater for a performer, for a musician than to have an audience that appreciate. Otherwise, it's just auditory masturbation. I know that'll get your brain ejaculating. You're going to have dendrites popping left, right, and center, and that's great fun. But more importantly, you can even get a bigger hit if you if you share the music and other people like what you're putting out, right? Just like this show. I love it when I get a lot of people watching my show. Lately, we've been knocking it out of the park with this little program. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got like 600 some odd subscribers, but there's Nick. Please support Nick before I take it off the screen. And please help and support him and Dagon. I did. I hope I did. This should be it right there. That should be it right there. Back up the Great Wizard, Inner Key. Well, please support these guys. All right. So, yeah, we want these guys and gals supported. It's so important, right? To get that support. And they don't cost much. It's not like you're going to put out 70 US on, oh, wow, Park Life. By the way, I am going to buy Park Life, and they are asking 70. It's a double album. It's a special release. So, you got to eat what you got to eat.
Well, it's 2 records, so that's reasonable.
Our friend Marty's here. I love Marty. I want to thank Marty for being on last week's program. It was just great, or on Sunday's program. I love having Marty on the program. He's a smart guy, and he's a good guy. I'm inspired by metal guys who release albums and only put out 50 copies of their album. Only 50 copies. Wow. That is, grab them while you can when there's that few available, right? But anyway, please support Nick Tronic. The link's I dropped the link, and also Dagon. Get those two. Those are the two I really want to shout out. But then there's some bigger acts, okay? We're friends with some bigger acts, some pretty big acts. And our good friend Joey Callio has got an older album that's being reissued, okay? It's in the Data catalog, the first time ever on vinyl. It's the third album in the Data discography. And so here's how you can help even a bigger act. Record store days coming up. Phone your local record store. Okay, I'm going in. Phone your local record store and please tell them, say you want to get a copy of that Data album, because then they can go and select it and get it. We want to see some hype on this. We want to see some energy. I'm a huge Joey Callio fan, right? I don't go out much to see concerts anymore like I did when I was young. I was like, so many of you, I'd go see a lot of music. I've seen a lot of big acts, but I made a real kind of a special deal for myself and Sue. We went down to Seattle and saw Data performed just absolutely incredible show by the wonderful Joey Callio and his pals. So Phil and Mike Gurley. So anyway, please just phone and get on the ringer. I don't know. It could be whoever you want. Easy Street Records, that'll do. And tell them you want to get, ask, hey, you guys getting the latest Data album that's being released on Record Store Day? I want to get a copy. And you do want a copy. They do a bang-up job. Apparently, I don't have a whole lot of specs on it. My understanding is the same guy who did the last album, which sounds incredible, is back again to engineer this one, to remix it and make it all beautiful. And the last one, if the last one's any indication, it's an absolutely beautiful sounding album. The last one was. I think this is going to be the same way. So get on the blower and support independent artists. So even a Data, an established act like those guys are still under that independent artist umbrella. So help them out. Help all these guys out. And it would mean a lot to me if you follow the Ghost. It would mean a lot to me. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of today's show is Bill Maher. Bill Maher knows, wink. What the hell does Bill Maher know? Well, let's take a look. I got a thing. Okay, stop sharing that. Let's share the thing. I got a clip of Bill Maher. And the reason I'm playing it, because it's so apropos to kind of what's been going on. What's going on? Okay, so the Great Wizard, we got that. Okay, here's the one. Let's share this. So this is kind of interesting. This is over on my Expo program. I'm over there. Bill Maher reveals Jimmy Kimmel is very mad at him. May never talk to him again because of politics. God, what do I know about that? All right, so Bill
and Jimmy Kimmel,
let's hear what you're doing from the top. Let's make you big. Come on, Maher. Here we go. Let's hear what's going on.
And Jimmy Kimmel, he's very mad at me, and I know you're close to him.
I've heard.
I hope you tell him that, I'm sorry that they got bent out of shape. I don't think I did anything wrong. We can have disagreements.
I agree.
I mean, you and I don't agree on everything. Look at this clash now. And yet we're cool. Like the Republicans are always, this is the difference between the right and the left. It bugs me so much. My tribe is supposed to be the left, but these are the people who just can't talk to you unless you're exactly there. Whereas the Republicans, they always fucking come to my show. John Kennedy from Louisiana was on last week.
Yes,
took his beating like a man, like they all do, and we came across lovingly and smilingly and happily, and we can disagree.
I agree.
You and I aren't always completely on the same page, although we're very close because we're both smart guys. But like, I just don't get that from, and Jimmy, I'm sorry. Like, I think this is one of the nicest guys. I did a mea culpa when we exchanged emails, not about what he was complaining about, but just saying like, sometimes I am a little brash about me when they compare me with the other late night guys. And I'm like, I'm not like you guys. I'm not. You could all exchange your monologues, all of you, and no one would know the difference in tone. Tone, okay?
Tone, yeah.
Whereas me, I'm not there. I'm not in on your, I don't just buy into the left-wing bullshit. And I never stop making fun of the right-wing bullshit at all.
Right.
And like, if that's not good enough for you, then I think you're the asshole. And I don't think Jimmy is an asshole.
No,
I think
not.
he's a great guy. And it bugs me that, because of what the latest thing was, that, we may never talk
You guys
again.
should be thick as thieves and on the same page.
Welcome to the human condition, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that something right there? Bill Maher, I mean, how does that resonate for someone like me, because we've been talking the last few weeks with our beloved Harry, and he's a good guy. I mean, we should be thick as thieves, Harry and me. And Mazzy, we love Mazzy. Mazzy's my blood. I mean, Mazzy's literally my blood. I mean, I can't believe it. But this is the kind of thing. Bill Maher and I, we could only sit back and commiserate. Now, suddenly I feel like I'm Ed Wood talking with Orson Welles, but, it is what it is. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting and reflective of the crazy times in which we all find ourselves living. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to be here on another Tuesday, but I am enthralled with old time Hollywood. I'd love to go visit again. Of course, Rob down there in Muscle Beach, he's right in the thick of it. I love it. And, but I would love to go down again. Now, the interesting thing, we recently lost Adam the Woo, whose real name was, I think, something like David Woo or David Williams or something. It was like my old name. Anyway, the whole thing is with him is, he was down on Hollywood Boulevard, and I had my encounter on Hollywood Boulevard where I was looking at all the stars' names. David Adam Williams. That was it, right? Yeah, he had my name. I was David Williams too. Anyway, hey, how you doing, Raphael? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the link. If you want to come and hang out, there you go. Friends should not break up over politics, in my opinion. I know, but the problem is that you got kibitzers going. It's like the little devil and angel. And I call that the legacy media. And they're on your shoulder going, you gotta, yeah. And then everybody gets all worked up. And then they can't play together anymore. My mom says I'm not allowed to play with you. I saw something where some guy was with at a store with the Girl Guides. They're selling cookies, but they were selling at some Trump supporting store. So the dad comes and say, "Put those cookies back. We're not going to support the Girl Guides with this Trump thing. We don't want Trump getting any of our money," sort of thing. So it's all kind of crazy out there. We live in amazing times. We live in amazing times, but it is what it is. Okay. Well, I'm not going to inflame the language that way, Hatfield. Thank you, though, Hatfield. I appreciate the thought. Question is Harry Dodds. Yeah, because there was a thing. If you watch the Bill Maher clip, as a matter of fact, I would hazard a guess that Harry and Mazzy are as upset with me as Jimmy Kimmel is as upset with Bill Maher over the very same story. I think what Jimmy Kimmel got mad at Bill Maher about, not knowing fully, because I'm not the biggest Maher fan in the world, but I suggest, if I was to hazard a guess, I would suggest that Kimmel and Maher had a falling out over the whole Minnesota riot situation. I think that's where the fallout was. And I think this is what happened. Well, no, within the context of our conversation, question, is there so that's a why some wherefore of it. I'm not worried about triggering. I really don't care. I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, I've lost 3 subs, 4 subs, something since the incident, and I'm happy about it. I think that's fantastic because I really don't care. I don't care about subs. I do care about my money. I like money. So if you want to hurt me, just get out of Patreon, right? But I do like that. Trump can dish it out, but he can't take it like a little bitch. Hold on, put user in timeout. Okay, you're in a timeout for that.
You introduced the topic.
No, hold on. I introduced the topic in a very calm, matter-of-fact way, talking about Bill Maher, talking about his relationship with Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not saying that Jimmy Kimmel's a pissy little cunt lip, like this fucker's saying. So what I do, but if he comes in pejoratively, I could see if he comes in, well, I'm sorry, Rachel, but I have to agree with Bill Maher on that. He's not going to get timed out. Or if he goes, I'm sorry, Rachel, I have to agree with Jimmy Kimmel on that. He's not going to get timed out. But if he comes in calling Trump a pissy little bitch or something, you're going to get your ass timed out. It's an ad hominem. It's bullshit. I like the way Bill Maher handled it. He goes, I love Jimmy. Jimmy's a saint of a man. I love him. So there you go.
Thank you for explaining to the class.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very simple. You can get along here and survive in this live stream extremely easily.
Just don't throw the insults.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say that about, yeah, exactly. You don't want to be going there, because it's not worth, nobody wants that. What I like is, you have an opinion or, something like that, and you've got some sort of, I don't know, rationale behind it or whatever, then that's fine. But just go, so the other side's a, a whiny little bitch. Nobody benefits. Nobody benefits from that. I don't want to hear it myself. So there you go. I've never come on the show and just open up, hey, let's fuck over the Obamas for kicks. That's not what I do. I've never done it. Never will do it. It's not my heart to do it. Not my heart to do it, vinyl community. So what do I do? What did I open the show with? I open it up. I talk about promoting some good channels, some of our friends musically. But I thought, and the only reason I share the Maher thing is because of because I thought it was apropos and it dovetailed a little bit with my own situation. Hey, Rach, do you mind if I come up for a few minutes? I need to correct on a claim I made. Yeah. Absolutely. I threw the link out. Marty, you never even asked. When I throw that link out, that is the official invitation for anybody to come up. Come on up. Yeah, my mea culpa was I had seen this thing floating around. I hadn't watched the clip at all about Michelle Obama. And people were saying, oh, she's saying no to white people or something. I didn't even investigate it. My fault. And then so we were talking, and off the cuff, I went and grabbed the clip. And then once I played it, watched it, and I listened to, I didn't even need Marty to start explaining. Oh, yeah, that's all garbage.
He's just saying support black.
Yeah, but you can't do it. Anyway, here's Marty. Let's hear what he has to say. We love him. Hi, Marty.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
I like the ball cap. That's the right Orioles with the cute little cartoon bird. I don't like the bird that's serious. I like the cute little happy bird.
Right? My baby sister gave me this.
Thank you, baby sister. You gave your brother the right hat.
Indeed.
What's on your heart, Marty?
Yeah, I'm just going to come up just for a few minutes because it was brought to my attention by I won't out this person, but it was somebody that we both know and respect in the VC.
Yeah.
And they contacted me after I made the claim about electric vehicles on Sunday. And I had said that their carbon footprint was bigger than a gas vehicle. Well, as it turns out,
yes.
After 7 years or so, an EV becomes more efficient than a gas vehicle. And it's super.
I understood there would be no math.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. It's super important to me to not make claims that I can't justify and that I don't know about. And I made a mistake and said that. And I just want to come clean and say that I was wrong about that. And I know it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter, but I did make the claim and it turns out I was wrong about it. So it's just something that I said on your stream and I wanted to say it on your stream that I was wrong about it. And anyway, that's all. It's not.
Well, thank God. Elon Musk is very happy to hear this report. Buy a Tesla, ladies and gentlemen. So take
I'm
your
s- I, s- I will say though, with a caveat that I am still very skeptical of the practicality of it in our current situation. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't go for it and we shouldn't explore alternative energy sources and all that. I'm all for that kind of stuff, but it definitely has to be done at a rate or a pace that can be managed by our current system, especially because we do have such a we're our the the automobile industry has powered our economy for 100 years or so in America, and so that's all I need to say, and I am eternally thankful to our mutual friend who's a basically a genius, and he contacted me and just said, "Hey,
I
Marty, just
want to thank Poetry on Plastic for reaching out
Ha!
and doing the hard lifting on this issue.
You
Michael,
said it,
thank
not
you
me.
so much.
You said
Well,
it, not me.
well, you said genius. You might as well spell his
Yeah,
name is official name is Michael Genius. And then I'm not
yeah.
going to use his last name, but there we go.
He's a great guy. I consider him a good VC friend now, and so anyway, that's that. And,
I love Michael too. I consider him a good VC liberal. Okay, let's keep in
yeah,
mind
he
about
is.
that.
And you know what? He's got
But
a
he's
great
in the
perspective
Air
because he's in
Force
the
and he's a
military.
hell of a
Yeah,
noble player by all accounts.
man, the guy has so much to say on so many different
Yes, he
topics.
does.
He's very well read and cultured and talented, and so I'm in
I
his
hear
debt.
he's a hell of a dancer as well, Marty.
Is that right, man? I wouldn't be
Uh,
surprised.
well, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. You know, all that marching they do in the Air Force has got to count
Yeah.
for something. Okay. Instant Karma's in Detroit. Holy smokes.
Anyway, so I'll
Okay.
let I'll let I'll get off the stage and let somebody else come up since I was on for a while on Sunday. But thank you for letting me come up and do
Well,
that. I
Marty, we
appreciate it.
just love you. Yeah, you can hang out whatever the hell you want to do. You know, it's so quiet stage today. It's interesting because we always, it's a challenge to get the folks up on here sometimes the way it goes. But then suddenly it'll change. The dynamic will change, and suddenly you can't keep them out. We don't have any more room for anybody. So
Yeah.
it kind of goes one way or the other, feast or famine, depending on. Right. Okay. So we got very sad, sad, sad news, horrible news, really, the worst news. So our beloved Doctor, that's Dr. Robert's wife, has passed away. I guess the announcement was made on Instagram or where.
Did he? I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was public yet or not, but it isn't. It is
It was
truly.
10 days ago that she passed, apparently. So I'm assuming it's public. It damn well better be so
Yeah.
public. Did you find it in a public forum?
Oh,
Oh, okay. 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 Well, yeah. So unfortunately, it was 10 days ago. If this news is not public and we've released it prematurely, my sincere apologies. That would be horrific on our part. I had assumed it was public information.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I'm sure generally it would say a safe
I would
bet.
think at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, I went up before they went to Germany. I went up to their house, and they have a house on the river in Portland. So he's just 45 minutes from me where he lives, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got to spend a little bit of time with Robert and Susan on their deck, and we just sat and drank a beer and chatted about life and everything, and
Hmm.
and it was really good. It was a lovely, lovely lady. I can't say enough about them as a couple and the love they had for each other. It was very evident. My condolences and my best wishes go out to that family.
Yeah, it's horrible. She was lovely, and I don't know. Her and I had some fun comedy chemistry. Like be there in the background with Dr. Robert. I go, Doctor. I called her Doctor,
Yeah, yeah.
because he's Dr. Robert. And then the wife is a doctor as well. She's a very skilled surgeon in her own
That's
right.
right.
And
That's right.
so, I mean, and you don't see, I don't know. I think in 2026, you probably do. But, for people of my vintage, elderly, you don't see a lot of female surgeons. They're out there, but,
Yeah.
probably predominantly more males in the surgical, and that generally women, settle into the GP role. So, and other areas, right? But then actually doing the scalpel work. But anyway, Dr. Robert, great friend of the channel, and Doctor, his beloved Susan. And so very sad news on that. And again, my apologies to the Roberts family. If this wasn't public knowledge, I would be mortified. And in fact, I'm actually, even at this point, I wouldn't have said anything if I'd kind of just if it had come through a different vehicle.
I think at this
Okay.
point it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, oral surgeons, female surgeons, for oral surgeons. Yeah, I just don't know what the breakdown is. There are some divisions of labor on gender. Even in 2026, there's still some of that occurring there. Sue goes, my surgeon was a female. She was indeed a very skilled surgeon as well. Because they did the biopsy on you, didn't they? And they had to remove, they cut the tumor out, right? So
Our family has had a lady, or our general, what do you call that? Just your doctor?
yeah, general practitioner.
Yeah, has been a lovely lady here in the Silverton for 25, 30 years, and she's just retiring this year, and we're all really bummed out. She was
Yeah.
very good.
So if she's retiring, is usually the idea is somebody takes over the practice?
Yeah, there's the one she's got a physician's assistant there that is a really good friend of ours whose children, my oldest daughter was her nanny. So we have a close connection, and we're still plugged into the clinic there and stuff like that. And I think there's another doctor coming along.
I've been through that a number of times. I had Dr. David Harris was my physician, and then he retired, he got out. But in Canada, it's quite a bit different because socialized medicine, a lot of these guys, he was very active politically for doctors through benefits and try to get more money for these guys because they don't get paid as much up here as they do in America. And it's
Yeah.
one of the three traditional professions of the clergy, the medical profession, and the clerical profession. Those are the three professions. Everything else is a career, a job. You can call it what you will, but it's not a profession in the strictest sociological sense. That's how they define
Yeah.
these things. And that's why I always point to the movie Caddyshack, of all things, because they're trying to show status there. So what do you have in Caddyshack? You have the priest out there on the 17th hole. There's thunderstorms raining, the lightning's out there, but he's got to go finish his game because he's got a good score coming. So he determines to stay out on the course. And of course, comedy ensues. So you got the priest out there representing the clergy. And then, of course, you had the lawyer brigade out there. And then the doctor was Ted Knight, who played
Yeah, that's right.
the main villain in there.
Yeah.
So it was the idea was to convey status by having lawyers, the clergy, and the legal profession or the medical profession all included in that show. I still love that. At the beginning, when the kid's out there with the smoke and the old couple out there, and she duffing the ball, and the old guy goes, "Peach of a shot, hon, peach of a shot," and the ball just kind of
It's a
limps
classic.
over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a classic. I own that on DVD, and it's a horrible cut. Like you got it sometimes. You got a DVD, and the resolution and the presentation is so weak. You absolutely have to up your ante and go and get a Blu-ray. I found that with Amadeus. I had it on DVD, horrible DVD, beautiful Blu-ray, and probably even better on 4K.
I bet because I remember Amadeus being kind of grainy,
It was
watching
horrible.
it. Yeah.
And the
Almost.
sound wasn't good, and it didn't involve you as much.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I got rid of my copy. I said, this is horrible. I can barely watch this thing. Okay. Nice. It was a classic gas mask over the face. What are these kids? Are you guys talking Beatles? Oh, medical. All right. They're talking medical. That's good. Okay. Marty, it looks like you may be on the road. Any truth to this, Marty?
I just walked in the door. Actually, I just parked the truck 15 minutes ago. So
He's home.
I'm
The
home now.
truck, this is what he needs. Please give money to Marty as well so he can put more art, more items in the house. Apparently, they feel that you're under materialized here,
Maybe
Marty.
so.
Yeah, kids are
You
saying that.
got to be careful not to get too much stuff.
Get that guy some lights. He's living on
Well, I got
Christmas
the
lights.
window here.
That's all right. He's doing all right, boys and girls.
I'm doing great.
Holy smokes. Speaking of shout outs, I got another shout out to do. This is a guy I love a lot. Boom, boom, boom. Where the hell is it? Did I overwrite this guy? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got two open, so I got to close the one so I'll know to get the right link. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's another independent artist. I've shared this individual before. I want to share him again. This guy is Joe Soren over on the Instagram thing, and he just has the most amazing artwork. And he's a musical guy, and his stuff is available for purchase. This artwork, you see something you like, you can pick it up. But he's very good. Listen, music.
Oh, look at that!
Man.
I like that.
Joe Soren, Velvet Underground on acrylic.
That's neat.
So yeah, isn't that killer? And he's also got another one. He's done a few music things because music is near and dear to him. The president, he sold that one, which is nice to see. But he's got another one. I hope I can find it here. He's got the Ramones. He did one with the Ramones, which is just fantastic. And but it's so stylized. He's got his own style.
That Abraham Lincoln, it's like a serious caricature kind of. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Cool.
24 by 20 acrylic on crowd. I love this comment. This so heartbreakingly beautiful, a work of love. Has this one found a home? And I checked the reply, and Jim goes, "Thank you for the kind words. It has found a home. So grateful."
Yeah,
But this guy's, this is next level artwork. But he's actually done one where it's where he did the Ramones. So I don't have access to it right now, or at least not that I'm seeing. But there's the
very cool.
Look at that. There's the Velvet Underground, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll drop a link to him. Oh, Sue's already ahead of the game. Anyway, and I want, on a very personal note, I don't know if I should be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to. Joe has been super supportive of Sue's artwork and encouraging to her. And Sue's painting lately. She's got a couple of projects on the go. And this guy's an established artist. He's done shows in big art galleries and well-known venues. And so he's taken it out of his time just to encourage Sue, and it's just meant so much to her. And I can't think enough. I can't say enough nice things about this guy. Our planet needs more like him. Rachel said Joe Soren, correct? Yeah, that's it. And it's joesorenart.com. And yeah, there's more. He's also on another gallery or a website that promotes his art. I forget the one. I think it's in Arizona. Anyway, so there's that, ladies and gentlemen. Marty, what are you looking forward to buying? What are you looking forward to? Park Life is out, $70. It's going to cost me 70, double album, but I got to have it in the collection, so it's going to happen.
I heard when I had my earbud in when I was listening to you talk about Dada's release for Record Store Day, and that album El Subliminoso was a CD that I had in the 90s. And when I was down in Arizona doing Christmas trees with my family, I listened to that the whole winter, that album. And it's got a song on it called Bob the Drummer. I think it's called Bob the Drummer. And I just love that album. When I found out that they're going to put it on vinyl for the first time, I just thought, man, for sure. And I happen to know Joey Callio, so I think I can get him to sign it for me, which would be all the better.
Yeah, he's like Joey's one of our guys.
Yeah, he is.
I just love him, and the fact that he hangs out and he's just a down to earth guy, and he doesn't have a big hat. He's got a big heart, but he doesn't have a big head about things and kind of sees the world, I think, objectively, to the extent any human is able to do so.
Yeah.
He does a
He's really
pretty
down to
damn good
earth
job of
for
it. Yeah.
sure, and they're so talented. That those, PB Thal got me the release day puzzle from last year. He had gotten 2 copies. I wasn't able to get one up here, and he sent one to me. And so I was just so happy that I got puzzle, and, that yeah, the music is just
The puzzle
it
and the production on that album.
yeah, the you know, I was really, really into music in the '90s, and still love it. But it was when our girls were really small, and I was making a lot more of my own. And so there are certain albums and certain artists that just they become the soundtrack to your life, kind of, and you can remember where you were at when you were
Yeah.
listening to their music and stuff like that. And Dada was, I didn't know Joey at all, and didn't have any idea about the VC or
Or
anything
that you'd ever
way
meet
back.
him.
Yeah, and so to get that and to kind of relive that time in my life is
Sue's pretty quiet about her artwork, and I don't know. She's a fairly private person ultimately, but Sue has an Instagram account, and occasionally she'll post one of her art pieces up there. So there is some examples of her work on Instagram if you want to find it. So Scoozy's Ghost, I think. Are you Mrs. Ghost on Instagram, Sue? Yeah, she doesn't even know what name she went under for Instagram, but I think it's Mrs. Ghost.
sounds right.
Wolfie, you and everybody else, Wolfie tells the story. He says, once I fought full anesthesia, so how long am I going to last? So the doctor told him to count backwards. He lasted to 97, and then he's out. Everybody goes out at 97. I mean, if you were to do a test on that, Wolfie, mean number on that I would argue would be 97. You get about 3 seconds, then you're out, man. It just shuts you down. And so you need a good anesthesiologist. A lot of people have a freak out about that going under. It's the closest they're going to get to death before they ultimately check out. Okay, Bill Codville with a question. Oh, there's a Susie artwork right there. Here, we'll make it big.
This
Boom.
is just so awesome. The
Yeah.
light, Sue, the light. It's all about the light on this. Very cool.
Yeah, he's showing Nina there. There's a delay. It'll show up on your own screen in about 10 seconds. Okay, 90s. Who knew the vinyl community would pop up and connect us all in the 1990s?
Very cool.
I don't know if anybody could. I don't think so. Did you foresee a time where we'd have virtual communities, internet connectivity, where we could just and then result in traveling around? You've been up to Seattle and various locations, people meeting one another.
In the '90s, I was, it was all about Facebook back in the day, and that was right in the middle of my deconstruction, and I was writing a lot about that, and giving my relatives a lot of heartache about my
Your
spiritual
own journey, yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 90s. So, well, when did you, when was your first baby enter planet Earth?
98.
98. So, yeah.
We got married in '96, and Willow was born in '98. Yeah.
So, yeah, 96. So it's kind of coming together, building your life together as well.
Yeah.
And that's taking up a lot of your energy at the time. And you've done different things. You weren't driving truck. Truck was, you were restauranteering back then, right?
I had it, yeah, before the pandemic, I had a sushi restaurant, and I sold that a month before the pandemic hit, and by fluke, it just happened to be,
So
and then
you restauranteered longer. Is that the main job that you did
no,
for your
no,
life? What's your
I
number
did
one?
before that. Well, I was a PACS administrator for 6 years at a place called Salem Radiology. The PACS system is the Picture Archive and Communication System. Mm, It was basically, remember when X-ray film was all, you'd put the film in a light box and it was all
Yeah.
a physical media. Well, during the digital transfer in the early 2000s, um, that I was part of I worked for a company that radiology company that was owned by a radiologist, and I happened to be there at the time when they did the analog to digital transfer.
Yeah.
My dad was the chief X-ray tech, so I got an in there.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
But
Well, it's good to get an in, right?
yeah, so I was there for 6 years, and I did real estate for another 6 years. My family's had my mom's family, excuse me, has a Christmas tree farm for 40 years. So I did that off and on for many years. And yeah, I just can't stick with one thing I won't drive truck forever either. That's just something I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'll do something else along the way too. It's not good for retirement, but it keeps life
Well, you're
exciting for me.
musical too, so,
Yep.
you've got your own, project, coming out,
Yeah.
so that's interesting.
I'm excited about that.
Have you got an ETA on that now?
Right now, Mark Anthony, who mastered the music, is getting his latest album cut to lacquer, and then as soon as that's done, he's going to get he's great. He was gracious enough to continue the I guess producer's role maybe in a manner after the fact. After he mastered I had mixed it, recorded it, mixed it down and everything. So he just did the mastering, and then he's got a guy in Ontario that cuts lacquers that he really trusts.
Yeah.
So he's going to have his guy do that, and Mark's going to help me with the record company and stuff. So hopefully, going to be taking photos for the album cover within the next month or so, but it won't come out until after I get back from my motorcycle trip to the Baja. So sometime this spring it'll come out.
So you're gonna, motorcycle all the way down Oregon, down the California coast,
Yeah.
right into Baja, Mexico. Wow.
Yep. Yep. Middle of April to the middle of May. So
That'll be
we'll be on
quite
the road for 30 days. It'll be a trip of a lifetime.
That'd be quite the adventure. And of course, we talked before about Ewan McGregor and the long way
Charlie
round.
Borman, yeah.
Yeah, which is an amazing series. If you've never seen that, folks, even if motorcycles isn't your thing, because it's a human interest story, it's
It
very
really is.
it's
Yeah.
accessible for a very broad audience. And Ewan McGregor's so bloody charming.
He is.
So
He
there is
is.
that. And so the
And
girl, he's pretty cute.
Charlie Borman,
There's pretty comfy laugh. I
his
love
best friend is actually John Borman, the director. His son is Charlie, and they do the motorcycles are kind of the backdrop for this really kind of where they ride from London all the way around east to New York City, and it's just kind of an anthropological um,
Yeah,
journey
that's a good way of
through
putting it.
all of Asia and Russia and through Alaska and then down through Canada. And it's that basically got me. I was riding motorcycles before that, but it got me excited about camping off the bike and stuff like that. So and since then, they've had three other series. They did the long way down, the long way up, and the latest one last year was the long way home, where they rode vintage motorcycles around Europe.
What bikes did they choose?
Ewan had a Moto Guzzi, which is a Italian bike. I think it was in 1970, and then Charlie rode, I think, a 72 BMW. So yeah, really, really cool. They restored the bikes sort of before they left, got them running really good. And of course, they had hiccups along the way, which is
Yeah.
interesting. But
What do you think about like celebrities that have all the money? You got all the money, okay? So you have no worries of financial, like you're a multimillionaire. And I always wonder, what do these kids do for thrills? Because it's tragic when you think of them, and it's hard to put yourself in their skin and go, why would you take yourself out from this life experience when you have so much available to you? And do you think it's because they have so much that they don't know where to turn to next for the next high or something that'll keep them motivated to go,
yeah,
oh, I'm into this.
that's a good question. The Charlie and Ewan seem to be really down to earth in that manner, and I think that's what makes them such an attractive couple or pair, friends. Charlie was painting houses, even though he was a famous director's son. He was in a movie called The Emerald Forest when he was a teenager, that his dad directed, but he wasn't doing a whole lot. He has talked about it, really bad dyslexia, and it kind of played a part in his acting, memorizing lines and doing these different things. But he wasn't. He was kind of financially kind of not down and out, but just was not making a real fortune at all. And then Long Way Around came out and it took off. And since then, he's been doing travel shows and he's been a spokesman for lots of different motorcycle companies. And he's really created a career around motorcycles. So he's stayed humble the pretty much the whole time, and it's really neat, just really neat. But yeah, when I look at Keanu Reeves is a real big motorcycle guy, and of course he's got more money than God, and he can do whatever
Yeah.
he wants. But you see him, riding around and beat up motorcycles, and you always hear about how sweet he is to fans and stuff like
You
that. So
sure do. Yeah.
there are those gems out there that that the guys that do
Genuinely
have,
nice guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they have
You
tons of
can't
money.
find anybody with a bad word on Keanu Reeves.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't heard.
As a person, acting
Yeah.
notwithstanding, there's something to
Right. Yeah.
argue with.
He plays himself, I think. Yeah.
The thing about like the money, the access, and all the rest of it's just something I always wonder and question, because they
Indeed.
have so much and access to so much. You want a girl? I think we can get you a girl. It's like Bill Cosby with the trouble he got into. I go, you're freaking Bill Cosby. All you have to go, I'm Bill Cosby, and you're going to get 50
Yeah.
women will throw themselves at you, just
Think
by the
the
virtue of being a celebrity. No, it's Sue. Sue
Yeah,
did. Go ahead.
That's not real love. So,
I'm not talking
No.
about love. I'm talking about the carnal thing.
yeah, but you're talking about people ending, doing themselves.
No, but I'm talking about life experience. I'm not talking about finding out. I'm talking about the excesses of the human condition where you've got all this money, you can do this, you can go here, you can have that. You want a chick, we can
Yeah.
get you a chick. You don't have to pay for her. They'll throw themselves at you.
We're seeing the dark side of that with the whole Epstein thing and all these billionaires who they have the world is at their fingertips. They can have everything, and for that group of people, it turned dark. That their kink became um, an expression of evil. And
Yeah, I think you're onto
yeah.
something with that. I really
Yeah.
do believe that the boredom factor for the Epstein and these rich
Yeah.
people, because they can fulfill every fantasy and go wherever they
Right.
want. Hey, do you want to let's go to Beijing? Do you want to go to Beijing? I've
Yeah.
never been. And say you and I are both a couple of rich cats. Do you want to go? Can you get the weekend? Let's just go for a week. We'll just go into Beijing. I want to go to that thing, the red circle, whatever square it is. And I just want to go to that place where they done the thing, and then we'll go, and then we'll head back, or we'll have some sushi or whatever the hell on the way back in Japan. We'll hit Japan on the way back after we fill ourselves with chow mein, and But this is the thing. So I do believe that sometimes because they've got everything, it's just
Mhm.
the power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right? I guess
Indeed.
the old saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. 4D recommending the book on it was it was I want to say Alfred Hitchcock's music director. And so 4D will know the name, and so will Anthony. And 4D had recommended this book, and Anthony got interested. And he picked up a copy. So it's just the beauty of the vinyl community, where people can share one idea, catches fire, somebody else picks up on it, goes, I want to check that out myself. And bada bing, bada bang, bada
Oh,
boom.
I've gotten so many awesome recommendations, whether it's music or movies or an artist or something like that, from my friends in the BC. It's really what a valuable resource to have people that are interested in a lot of the same things. Yeah, it's fantastic.
We got Shanti. Shani, we're glad you're joining us.
Hey, Johnny.
We got a big show today. Holy smokes. It's good to have Marty back. And so don't even worry about it, because you can see, like, we're just not getting the people.
No, I
Just
know.
hang out, It's fine. It's Bernard Herrmann, Rach. Bernard Herrmann is the music director, the Hitchcock director, but he did many more films than just Hitchcock as well. He's out there. I wonder if the person with the largest record collection in the world is corrupt. No, because the guy, and here's why: because the guy's collecting. He gets his kicks out of the record. So as long as he's keeping that, it keeps him. What is it? Idle Hands or the Devil's Workshop, something like that. So the guy's busy looking, hunting records. That's going to occupy him. It's the people that are sitting at home when twiddling their hands with nothing to do. I've been there. Do you want to go to London? Been. Do you want to go to Paris? Been. Want to go to Sarajevo? Been. Well, do you want to go duck hunting? I've done that. Do you want to go? They run out of the hit. They're looking for that beta endorphin hit. That's why they should be watching the Rachel Scott Show and having their brains ejaculate with joyful humor and fun when I call your name out. Marty, wait till you see the living stereo. What is that?
1S, 1S.
1S, 1S. I grabbed from Flowering Spokes today. Okay.
What's is Flowering Spokes a record store, or is that the
Okay.
name of the?
Yeah, tell them what that is, Anthony. Johnny, we mentioned it earlier, so I'm glad you're bringing this to my attention, Johnny. So it must be public knowledge. So Johnny is now bringing it. Yeah, I found out through Sue. So clearly this is public knowledge now. So God bless her memory. I hate to say that that we have to appreciate only her memory at this time, but it's a fragile life, man. I'm 68, right? You don't want to know. You don't want to know that I'm so aware of my own mortality that I'm reaching the end of my show here on Planet Mudball. You're here for a short time. Enjoy the road trip. Enjoy the trip, people. Enjoy the trip.
When I see, when our girls were young, people would come up to us and say, "Treasure it, it goes by so fast." And when you're young and you're invincible and you think you're going to live forever, but I'll tell you what, my girls are all grown up now, and it does go by so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're so right. And it seems like the older we get, the quicker it goes. I'm the same age my dad, turning in February, I'll be the same age my dad was when he died. So that's kind of sobering thought. Like, holy fuck, this is all you got, Dad? You only had that much? Oh man, that sucks. Okay. Okay, something happened. Did anyone else notice the note on Apple Music? It went upside down. The note on Apple Music went upside down. Finally found out why. I have no idea what's going on with that. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I haven't heard about
that. And there's a reason for. Okay, Jen, tell me. You're no dummy. Tell me what the reason is. Also, big shout out to Loki. Loki has been reaching out. I love Loki. I want a public a comment for Loki. I love him. Loki. Be happy. Do you, Loki. I love Loki. You have fun. You be a happy Loki. Okay.
He's a good guy.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy, Loki. Holy smokes. He's a good man too. Well, we don't know how old he is. We know very little.
Yeah, he could be older than all of us. Or he could be 14. Who knows?
I think he's 14 from the last report.
Maybe so.
Okay. Rachel, I'm 68. I'm going to be 69 in April. Time is flying by too fast. Yes, Johnny, you're not a young spring chicken.
Johnny, you look good for 68. You really do.
Attaboy. You're holding on. You're holding it together, buddy. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. They did it for Bad Bunny. It looks like a Bad Bunny, a bunny upside down bunny. Well, that's kind of cute.
Oh.
That's kind of cute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last time we spoke, the Hawks hadn't won the Super Bowl, so that was really fun.
Yeah, it was good. Cool. I was sharing. I watched a bit. Yeah, I watched a few highlights. It was a very defensive game.
It was. The whole first half was just really,
well, they were scoreless.
Crazy.
Yeah, New England was off the board. They didn't have a point by halftime, which did not bode well for them in so much. No. If they had come back at that point, it would have been a world record. Nobody has ever come back. And they ended up getting a couple. Did they get a couple of touchdowns by the time it was all said and done?
Yeah, they got a touchdown, but there was a couple pick six interceptions.
Yeah,
Drake May had a really bad game. Poor guy. He was youngest quarterback in Super Bowl history. He's only 23, just a kid. He's got a full career ahead of him and stuff like that. But he really had a poor showing. Both defenses played really well. New England they played great defensively for the most part. but just couldn't. Drake just made some bad throws.
Yeah, well, and the defense was just so on him. So,
Very good.
so there
Yeah.
was a lot of pressure on the poor bugger.
Yeah.
They were just breaking through at will. That from the highlight clips that I was able to see. Seattle well deserved. They had a great team. They were the
Yeah.
favorites going
Yeah.
into it as well. So 2 Super Bowls for the Seattle
That's
Seahawks
right.
now. So that's kind of
Right. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to Major League Sports, Seattle doesn't have a whole lot of trophies in the case when as a
The
city.
Yeah, the Mariners, of course, have never won it. They got close back when they had Ichiro. They still, I think, have the record for 116 wins in a season.
Yeah,
And then when they had basketball, the Sonics, I think they won
Seattle
it in
Sonics. Yeah.
79. There's actually this summer, I think they're having talks, the NBA, to do an expansion of two new teams. So I think Seattle's going to get their team back, which would be really cool. And they're talking about maybe Vegas. Vegas is the Raiders are there now,
Entertainment
and
capital. Yeah.
yeah, and because gambling is such a huge part of sports now.
Yeah. Golden
um,
Knights are there. Is
yeah,
Vegas Golden
and
Knights.
the the WNBA team is really good there and stuff.
So yeah, Vegas. So it's an entertainment capital.
Yeah,
So it just makes sense that you'd have a lot of focus there for sports teams. Did the Seattle Sounders ever win for soccer in the North
it's a
American
great
Soccer League?
question.
Yeah.
Don't I don't know if they did win or not. I haven't been paying attention as much as I used to about 10 years ago when because Portland's got a team, the Timbers. So I've been
Yeah.
to some games. That's really fun. But my girls, we paid attention a little bit more to the Thorns, which is the women's team that
Mm.
we have some friends with
What about
season tickets.
what about the legendary? And this I love to say the term, Marty. The legendary Portland Winterhawks.
Yeah, I
Hey,
went when I
come
was a
on,
kid.
man.
We
Have
went
you
to
ever seen a
yeah.
Winterhawks game?
I
Have you
sure
ever
have.
done?
When I was a kid, we
Attaboy.
would go in Memorial Coliseum there. That was good times back in the
Yeah,
day.
they're a good team. Good unis. You got to have good
Yeah,
unis if you got a team. That's why I like the
yeah,
little orange bird. It's a
right?
cute one. That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite club symbols is the happy little Baltimore Oriole,
yeah.
right? I think it's adorable. Okay, so what's going to happen to my record collection when this mortal coil passes? My kids are not that enthused. Mine, I'm lucky. My son says, I said, do you want me to start downsizing at a certain point, or what do you want? He says, no, keep them. I want them all. I go, all right.
Nice.
Yes,
What
but
if I
Nice.
decide, what if I decide to sell some?
you can. That's your
You
prerogative.
assume I won't
I
sell
think.
it.
Well, I think the batting order goes me to you, and then when you go to Junior, and we're kind of fortunate. We just have the one son, in so much for passing on. So whatever we
Mhm.
have goes to one kid. And in this day and age, where there's so precious little, and you got to spread it out amongst, like you got the
Mhm.
4 girls, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm sorry, honey, but we got a little bit here for you, and we got a little bit, but we love you best, so you're got him, or your sister going to hate you for this, but no, no, no. But like it's one of those things. So I'm kind of happy that John, for this reason only, that doesn't have the siblings, that we know he's going to be okay. At least we can give him a little something to keep him comfortable, and
Cool.
give him some legs for a bit. But yeah, and it's been a great time. I'm very nostalgic. So I've bought almost everything that I've wanted. I was looking at Frank J. Marshall. My favorite chess player is American. It's not Bobby Fischer. It's a guy named Frank J. Marshall.
Mm.
He was born in the 1800s, died like 1947 or some bloody thing. But he was great. And he wasn't the strongest player in the world, but he played a beautiful form of chess. If you know the game, just the way he played, I just loved looking at his games and the beauty of the movement of the pieces. And
Mm.
there's a real beauty in it, real aesthetic. And so I love Frank J. Marshall. I owned a book by Dover Publications, originally published 1960 with a red cover. And it's been reissued many times, but I want the red cover one. So I just saw on eBay today, ooh, there's a couple that's the book I had. I want to get that one with that cover. When we were in Seattle, I was just showing Sue today, I picked up Siegbert Tarash's best games, and it's a Dover book, and it had that gorgeous teal cover, which I just love. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can reach it, but it's all the way up there. You need a stool to get it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can't reach
Yeah,
it.
you
So
can't.
it recounts all the moves from his matches. Is that
Yeah, the interesting thing about it, Marty, it's like in chess, there's notation. So each square has a place. Well, yeah, there's
right?
this.
Oh
This
my
is a,
goodness, look at that tone.
that's a big one, but that's not it. This is just an example. This is Judith Polgar's book, 5,334 chess problems. So it helps you look at positions, and that's kind of a nice cover. But no, Dover books were the publication I loved because they had such attractive covers. And growing up as a teenager and being enamored and captivated by the game, I love the books that Dover public. I think they're a British publication. Let me know. 4D, you'll know, is Dover Chess, a UK publisher. It's like a McCartney many years from now. Yeah, I've got McCartney, right? Okay. Okay. Grandma, her 100th birthday was a blowout at the church. Everybody showed up. She made it to 101 and still completely together. She's still going. Wow, Joel, good genes. Be thankful for him. You know, if you can make it to that kind of age and still have your wits about you, some of the saddest and the most heartbreaking are when you get people like Bruce Willis, where it's a dementia-like condition. Other people have suffered from it. My mom had dementia, and those are the worst. Those you want to go. I want to go remembering as best I can and holding on to the rest of it.
You know, I think that too, but Rochelle's grandfather had dementia for the last 4 years of his life, and you can go kind of different ways. Sometimes you become a real like an angry person, and they're very hard to deal with. But he would hold a doll, and he was just a jolly older guy. And while it was very tragic for us to see him slip away and not recognize us and that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
in his mind, he was okay. So I kind of like, oh, maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. You
yeah.
don't want to be a burden, obviously, to your family, and you don't want to break hearts or anything like that. He, you know,
Fun dementia. My other grandma had fun dementia. Yeah.
there you go.
My uncle Malcolm, Sis's husband Mal, my favorite uncle. He had fun dementia. So he was
Mm,
in the hospital. He stole the plug out of the drain and was holding on laughing, I got,
yeah,
look what I got. And give us a little plug,
good for him.
so it's really cute, right? Um, okay. Well, Rick has got, a bunch of redwoods. Okay. They all live to 85, 95, except my ex who recently passed 70. God rest her. She left me and my son and daughter 30 years ago. Very hurtful,
Mm,
difficult time, heartbreak, the human condition, man. The human condition. This life of ours, it has drama, it has sorrow, but it has great joy, right? Great joy. But yeah, there's the whole ball game. Anybody who's ever been through a breakup or relationship, anyone that's been through that, I see that hand. It's a difficult thing. It's a hurtful thing. But what are you going to do? You can only be true to yourself at the end of the day, and do the best you can, and hope it works out as best it can, right?
the beauty in life comes directly from the suffering. I mean, you don't have to suffer to appreciate the beauty, but the life is so precious because we all end up with nothing.
If
Doesn't
you
matter how
allow it
rich you
to,
are.
suffering will build character like nobody's business in,
Yeah,
in,
for
in your
sure.
soul, folks. I felt worse for my kids than myself. Of course, Rick. Of course. That's
Yeah.
your love for your kids. Okay. Do you know the Hollywood villain, Paul Zuko? He believed he was a mad scientist at the end. The
Hmm.
Hollywood villain, Paul Zuko. Joel, I'm not
Familiar.
familiar. At least off top, I'm not familiar. Eddie asked a question. I have been collecting the Jethro Tulls. I'm looking for Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. How apropos is that? I want to buy that when it comes out in box set again. It's been released in previous years. I need it reissued, but I haven't added. The last one I added was Living in the Past. revisited. So they did a reissue of Living in the Past, expanded, beautiful. It's a great series of CD, DVD, or Blu-ray combinations. Really well done. Each one has a book with essays covering the period, what album they were, whatever album it's championing, where they toured, how they mixed the album, who appeared on it, the song, the creation. Absolutely stellar stuff. And for any Jethro Tull fan, I can't recommend the series enough. Really, really good. Okay, you can't remember Loki's cat?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's driving me nuts.
Anybody who remembers Loki's cat's name?
It begins with
Tyrannosaurus?
I know
Tempter?
this. I know this.
Theodora.
It's a
Coffee.
Coffee, that's
the
it.
cat. Okay,
That's it.
holy smokes. Thanks, Jen. Fact check, Jen. Boy, she knows her stuff. Thank you, Paul. I can't read Paul's comments because I blocked them last week.
Oh, in Restream?
Yeah, in Restream. Whatever. Anyway, Paul, we're glad you're here. I got to let all these idiots out of jail. Well, you know, I'm a tough taskmastress. Okay. Paul Zuko's related to George Zuko, the hunchback in House of Frankenstein, the guy who got thrown out of a skylight window by Glenn Strange. Good Lord. Rufus, the cat. What's his name? Remember him? Rufus. What was his name? I love that guy. Bagheera. Whatever happened to that cat? Do you see Bagheera? Does he go in your show at all?
He's all over the place.
Oh, I never see him over here.
No, I don't know that name.
Do you know Bagheera?
Mm-mm.
Where is he? I guess he's Rob. Watches Rob's show or something. Yeah. Good old Bagheera. I like that guy.
Alive and well.
Yeah, well, that's really good. Okay. I'd be more worried. All right. So yeah, for me, looking forward to music wise, obviously Dada's album coming out. And I support Mark Anthony K. When he gets the album part out, I'll throw some coin his way for that. And also, I got to get Park Life. So probably by it's Tuesday, probably by Sunday, I'll be able to show the kids Park Life. Hopefully I'll have it here by Sunday. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
People are saying that the RSD Record Store Day list is pretty good. This next one coming up. A lot of people are saying that there's more selections that they want than normal.
Yeah.
I didn't see any that I need to look at it again, but my first take of it, of course, I've got so many records to listen to already that I've slowed down the personal purchases because I just have so many to listen to. I feel bad about adding to the collection.
So yeah, because have you heard everything from your 74 collection?
Yeah, well, I've got over 1,000. I've listened to each one at least once, and of course, I'm still. I've sworn to do my favorite 25, but it's so hard to narrow it down. And I really want to. So it may be this summer before I get to it, or whatever. But some of my favorite albums are totally awesome.
Okay. I love Loki. Where I'm talking to Loki in the private comments. Loki is the latest comment for Loki. 1 hour ago, Loki goes, I was made to not feel welcome, and an environment was created to serve that purpose, as you well know. Loki, I'm speaking to you right now. I love you so much, little Loki. The environmental love for Loki is so great right now that I'm creating. Is so full of love. I also gave him 3 little emojis. I think Loki likes emojis, and they're so full of love, and each one is more adorable than the next. Do you know there's one that it looks like ice cream, but I think it's a poo-poo, but it's ice cream, but it's ice cream with love. And I think it just looks great, Loki.
I think I know that emoji. Yeah.
Big shout out to you. Do you know that one? The ice cream love. It's like a poo-poo, but it's ice cream love.
Yeah, chocolate ice cream, right?
It's not chocolatey. It's pink.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
It's
pink.
It
is. Okay.
Yeah, it's poo-poo, but it's pink.
Yeah, it's fairy poop.
It's a twist on it. Okay, what have I got here? Okay, that's just yours truly with another thing. Oh boy, I've always got, a million links open. So Nicktronic, the Great Wizard Anarchy, please support Nicktronic. also, Dagon, have you invested in any of the Dagon music so far? I think he's toying with getting something on vinyl as well.
Yeah,
There could be a
yeah.
rumor
I
about
hope
that.
he does. I hope he does. He's got quite a cool setup at his house, and I think he's talented.
He is very talented,
He's
and
actually I think his guitar playing is underrated.
well,
He's pretty good.
yeah. Well, you play guitar and you play keyboards.
Yeah,
He's very talented, and if he does anything you guys do on physical media, I'll buy. And if you can't do it, then okay, I'll throw something for a digital thing. But I prefer the physical media when it comes to all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But anyway, and I tell all of you would-be musicians or active musicians, just build it and we'll support it. Like just go, okay, I'm going to do the album. We'll buy. I already told you I'll buy your thing, no problem.
yeah.
Despite us having tyrannical properties, I like Loki. Yes, propensities. Attaboy. Okay, and here's Dagon over on the Instagram. Give him a follow over there. He's also on YouTube. He's
Haven't
all
seen
over.
Grateful Dogs in a while. How you doing, buddy?
Okay, Dogs is in the house. Welcome aboard, Dogs. Forget Dog's real name. We'll call him Douglas. Grateful Dog. Anyway, holy smoke, what else can we entertain the children with? We've talked about nostalgia, Hollywood. Do you like Hollywood, Marty? Have you been down to do the Groman's Chinese Theater, the tour, Hollywood Forever, something like this?
Twice I think we walked when I turned 30, my dad took me to a NASCAR race down in California Speedway, and we spent the day down on walking, is it Sunset with the Stars? We went by Grandma's Chinese house, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Chinese
What-
theater or whatever.
So you did. Now, did you put your feet in the footsteps of your favorite celebrity and find out they were very tiny?
I remember seeing them there with the imprints and stuff like that, but I don't recall. I used to be, when I was younger, I really, would Rochelle and I would go to the theater quite often and stuff like that. But when you got kids and things slow down and you're not as enamored with Hollywood like you are when you're a little bit younger, I guess. So
I'm
I
enamored,
still I
even
still
when
like
I'm
it.
old. Like you got to see this dearly departed Scott Michaels, where he goes to Mae West's apartment. He's got John Lennon's glass. This lady's renting it, and she's got all sorts of memorabilia. She's got Tom Petty pillows. She's got pictures, self-portraits by Hollywood celebrities. She's got a clown picture that was owned by Elizabeth Taylor. She's got the Mae West family crest banner that Mae West herself had in the same apartment. She's put it back in the same location it was all those years ago. I just love all that stuff. Mark Lasso, is this the real Mark? If it's got a wrench, it's our real Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Okay, we got another shout out to do. Marty, shout out Edwin. He's a beautiful liberal guy. And did you know he's got a singles tag created?
Is that Edwin from the
Pretty green vinyl guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Irish like you. He's a family anyway.
There you go.
Anyway, so the singles tag is out there. Please support the singles tag. Holy smokes. I haven't even seen that one. I must confess, I'm a little behind my time. Okay, when I turned 30, Dad took me to a brothel.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Dad. Attaboy, Dad. Okay, let's talk about Marvin. Whatever happened to him? Marvin.
The
Which
Martian?
Marvin? I don't even remember Marvin.
He went under the radar.
Marvin. Marvin. Oh, Marty. There used to be one of our guys called Marvin. He was a really nice guy. He was very poor. He lived in a van down by the river, quite frankly. He was destitute, and he did his own music. He was a good musician, kind of like a melody character, kind of a free spirit. But then he fell off the map, and we lost Marvin. So Marvin's in a mobile home park, kind of like me. The last we heard of him, he was living in a camper trailer somewhere in the desert. It was out in the mountains or something, a very remote region, wasn't it? So that's all I remember.
Mhm.
So that that's the last I heard about him. Rich, are you going to get the Monkees A and B album? Tell me about A and B, James Farley. Tell me about that album. Or Jen could come up here and tell me about it. I heard about it. People talking. Johnny was talking about it. Johnny, come on up and tell me about it. Josh goes, listen, Josh D, I'm extremely poor as well. That's very sad to hear. Marvin was no melody. I'll tell you that much. Oh my God. And so, okay, Marty, you're back on track. The kids are wondering about your diet.
Yeah, they were, because when Rochelle went to Ireland for a month, I had told them I was living on soft boiled eggs. Yeah, while she was gone, and which I had a lot. But oh, you know what? I think I'm. Oh, wait a second. I just bounced off for a second. Now I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't lose you here.
No, I
You
was
were
looking at.
solid here.
When I made the comment to BK, it brought up the YouTube screen, and then I noticed it's that 5-second delay or something like that.
It's a delay. Great news, Rachel. I found an Airbnb to sleep at today. Attaboy, sad bum. Attaboy. Holy smokes, Airbnb. And of course, Prog Rock Tommy going to bang your gong. Edward, we want to thank you again. We were talking a little earlier about Jethro Tull. You're the guy that spearheaded all those, and you did such a great job on your own channel talking about them. And they're a great series of DVDs, CDs. If you collect CDs, compact discs, you can't do any worse than these. You can't do any better than the Jethro Tull series. A beautiful set. It's like a volume of books. When they sit in your shelf, and they look great as well.
Cool.
But they sound good, and they're beautifully remixed and done. The A and B's of the Monkees, signed by Mickey, is sold out. We couldn't get it in Canada anyway. You got to go stateside, Jade. Got to go stateside, little Jade, if you want to get it. That's one of the beauty things. It's like you're down the States. It's such a big population. You have greater access to all sorts of stuff. Yeah, Gershowitz. Marvin Gershowitz liked to talk about sandwiches with me. Sandwich time. I appreciate that comment. Holy smokes. Hey, good to see you, Rach. Just got home from work. Holy smokes. Eric, you're moving all over the place. Now, Eric's in Oregon now. Eric used to be in California. Then he went up to Washington State, just on the border. I think he was in Vancouver, and in Washington. And then now he's in Oregon. So hopefully you're all settled there, Eric.
Yeah, didn't he say on your stream or something? He said he was in Northeast Portland or something.
Northeast. Is it Portland?
Well, I thought he said Portland. I don't know.
Are
if
you
it's
actually
the
in
same
Portland?
guy.
Let us know.
Which is
Eric.
just if he was in Vancouver, he's just across the. That's just across the river.
Holy shit. Mitch Albert knows a thing or two. That was a great period. Marvin, a witch, a fight with the European nihilist community. Well, we had it all going. This show, if it's anything, it's about it's like a revolving kind of stage with different personalities that come and go.
Okay, Rich, if you could only have one kind of sandwich for the rest of your days, what would you choose?
What would I choose?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hamburger sandwich.
Yeah.
Hamburger is a sandwich. Yeah, that's a sandwich.
A hamburger, without a doubt.
What do you put on? I mean, are you an avocado person or
no? Very, very,
bacon?
very, very vanilla. Very vanilla. So I put the patty on. I put mustard on. I put just a dab of ketchup on. I actually put ketchup on it, but not much. Just a little.
No mayo.
No
mayo.
I can take or leave the mayo. Don't care. And I don't need lettuce on it, and I don't need the tomato on it.
No pickles?
I don't need the pickle, but I'm not going to kick it off. If one comes to my table and it's got a pickle with it, I'll eat the pickle.
Okay.
But generally, what I go for, one of my favorites of all time is the classic Big Mac. Whether they change the recipe or whatever the hell, I don't know. But back in the 70s, a Big Mac was like unbelievably good.
Do you like that, just the standard sesame seed bun, or do you
like a sesame seed bun? I like a sesame. I don't like too much bun. I don't like to eat. I eat more bread and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the big revelations about being a Canadian visiting the States, going to Seattle in 1976 or so, and going to Wendy's and having a burger that you needed two hands that was about yay big to go. You looked at it, you go, are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Did I land in Jack and the Beanstalk world and I'm up visiting the giant stable? The burger was so big, it was unbelievable. It was hideously large, supersized meat
They
before it was
don't cut
popular.
corners at Wendy's.
Yeah. What about you? What would be your sandwich? Your go-to? You only got one.
Well, I love Sprouts, Alpha Sprouts.
Yeah, I like them too.
So maybe a BLT, but instead of lettuce, sprouts. I like tomatoes on it if the bread is toasted. Mm. I love sandwiches so much. Egg salad is a big one for me. Love that. Mm. I'm not really into the pastrami or the like the cat's deli kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm. But I love like just even just an avocado sandwich, or
Yeah.
I like mayo. So as long as it has lots of mayo on it, just about anything.
I like mayo. I like a burger with mayo, but I like classic fries. I like steak fries, the big fat fries. Those ones I like.
We call those JoJo's here.
What do you like?
We call them JoJo's. Big steak
JoJo's, is
fries.
that what you call the
JoJo's.
big fries?
Yeah.
JoJo's. I learned a new expression just now from you. The kids, yeah, everybody's got a favorite. I like tomato. I like a BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Those is okay. Rob Walker, Sprouts. He's saying no to the Sprouts. I like them. And there was a sandwich shop called Sam's Deli in Victoria, down on Douglas. No, it was on Government Street, right by the Parliament buildings, right by the Empress Hotel. It was right in the ritzy part, touristy part of town. Sam's Deli. It was there for generations. And you go in there and you have a roast beef sandwich with the Sprouts on it and the mayo and the whole bit. It was the world's greatest sandwich. Really, really good just as a sandwich. But I do love a BLT toasted and, classic, right? But I don't eat them much, Brian. If I go for a Big Mac, it'll ruin me for a week. It takes me a week to lose the salt from it. But I just watched a thing on how they make the McDonald's fries because they like it to look like a little bouquet. So they use one kind of potato. It's a big, long russet potato. It's big and long. They cut the fry, and it looks like a little bouquet. But the problem is McDonald's, I guess, whatever, they don't want any deformation. The russet suffers.
And they're hard to grow.
White, to get them clean. And so then they put them in a yard, in this big warehouse, and they dose them with chemicals, apparently.
Yeah.
Carcinogenic, as it turns out.
And they have to off-gas and stuff.
Yeah, they off-gas them for a week or something before they can even go in there. The farmers will not go in the field, I think, for 5 days after they're sprayed. They stay out of there for 5 days. So, I mean, there's a lot of toxicity involved with these things. And then you fry the fuck out of them, throw salt on them. So, there's nothing healthy about it. Okay, Japan, they got the yakisoba noodle sandwich. It's like
I used to make a ramen sandwich when I was a kid. Those were good. It's like starch on starch. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had one of those. Jen says she tried for sure.
Okay, how about a patty melt? Do you like rye bread? Patty melt, man.
I've had a patty melt over at the incredible. I don't know if you've ever heard of this institution. It is Denny's.
Denny's has
Denny's 24-hour patty melt. You could go in there and have a patty melt at Denny's.
Yeah, I just like the rye bread. I love rye bread.
I had Denny's. There's film of me on my one of my other channels back in the day that I created for like when I was at conventions and doing the airborne warbirds thing. And I'm with a bunch of Americans. We're in Texas, Dallas. It's hot. And I go, let's have some really good food. Let's go to Denny's. And the Americans and all these guys just started howling because they just Denny's, here's the Canadian want to go to, let's go to Denny's, because it was across the street. But when I came out of the hotel, I tell the story, the air was sucked out of my lungs, out of the air-conditioned hotel, going out of the air-conditioned hotel, 115 in the shade. It was a heat wave. People were dying left and right. It was horrible. But I went out. I couldn't even breathe when I got out of that hotel. I just like this. It just sucked out. It went, oh my God! And the Denny's was across the street. I go, how am I going to survive? And it was like a 6-lane highway to get across over and get to the Denny's. But we made it. And there's film of us eating at Denny's. Sounds like a carb bomb. Yeah, you don't want to. I eat good now. I'm doing good. I'm maintaining the weight. I'm 210 right now, and I'm kind of holding. I've taken a little break, but I'm not gaining. I'm just humming right now. But I'm going to lose the extra 10. I got to get down. I want to get Butterfield 8, hit that 195 is where I want to be.
I'm trying to drop a little bit of weight for the motorcycle trip. It's so much easier on my body when I'm
Okay.
riding if I'm just a little bit less.
How much are you weighing right now?
I'm 214. I think I need to get down to 200.
How
So
tall are you, Murray? You're 6'3"?
6'3", yeah.
6'3". Yeah, so that's a good slim build. I mean, you don't look, but you're probably carrying a little bit around the tummy area.
Yeah, I could lose a little bit around the tummy, and I just sleep better on the ground, and it's just I just feel better when I'm just a little
So
bit
okay,
lighter.
so what's your regime? If like I go on the exercise bike, that does it for me. What do you do? You go for a jog? What do you do in Portland?
Well, I'm generally I'm OMAD, so I'm one meal a day, generally, because I'll have coffee in the morning, and then sometimes I'll have some almonds or a can of sardines in the truck, but mostly I just wait until I get home, have a pretty decent sized meal, and
Yeah.
then we have a rowing machine, and I like to walk, and I lift weights a little bit, but
Yeah, the weights will burn off a lot of weight
yeah.
very quickly, actually. It's recommended. And as we get older, you want to do some resistance
Yeah, the
training.
resistance
Everybody swears it.
is
Swears by it.
important. Yeah.
Okay. Do you or don't you drink Diet Pepsi or any diet drink or any pop drink or fizzy drink, as the
Ye-
Brits call them?
I'll treat myself to a Diet Coke every now and then. Yeah.
I don't. I won't touch a diet. If I'm going to have a pop, we call, some people call them sodas. What do they call them in Portland? Sodas, or Oregon State? What do they call pop? Soda?
We say pop here a lot. I say
I say
soda.
pop. Yeah, I've always been pop where I am from, and so if I go for a pop, I'm going to go for a Coke, and I prefer Coke over Pepsi.
Yeah.
And I like the whole idea, but Coke's, as political as everything is nowadays, Coke and Pepsi are pretty much equal politically. But once upon a time, Coke was more of the conservative drink vis-a-vis Pepsi, which is more, women's lib and all the rest of it. Get yourself a Pepsi. But I like Coke. I always team Coca-Cola.
I do I like the diet because it's not as sweet tasting as a regular.
Yeah, I'm part Indian, so it's amazing. I
like the
don't
sweet.
have diabetes. Anything is sweet sugar I love. Sardines, not canned tuna.
I do love canned tuna, but sardines are just easy because
Yeah,
they
you can
peel
just eat
off,
the fish by itself. Tuna, you
And I
got to
got
put some mayo in it or whatever.
I'll put hot sauce on top of it, but
Yeah.
I got these while Rochelle was gone, I bought 60 cans of sardines in olive oil at and so I'll peel it back and then drink the olive oil.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
So how much does that cost? 60 cans of sardine is about $100. What is that?
Yeah, they were on sale. That's why I got them. They came in like cases of 5 or
they pack
6.
them all together. Yeah.
6, and I bought 10 little packs, and it's like $1.25 per. It was $70 for the whole for 60.
They're $2.50 a can here in the Great White North.
Yeah, that's about pretty close to, I guess, the same or whatever. But
I have them every day. Sardines are they are my staple. They're one of my staple things.
I just love them. I love them. I mean, they're not good for the breath, but boy, they're just so delicious. And you can put anything on them. They go with anything.
Yeah, I have sardine and I have avocado. Every breakfast has avocado.
There you go.
So the avocado is super fruit. And then I have my broccoli at lunch. Sue makes the most amazing salad. Holy
You steam the broccoli or you eat it raw?
Raw. Got to have it raw. And I like cabbage raw. I like a red.
Oh, really?
I'll eat turnip, raw turnip. I like raw turnip. I prefer.
You put little salt at all or anything?
No. I
Really?
prefer all my vegetables basically raw. I'll give them to me raw.
Huh.
I prefer them that way. I remember Benson Hedges. I smoked those. I smoked the menthol Benson Hedges.
My mom's.
I'm surprised. I'm still here to tell the tale after that. Okay, bikes. You know what I like? I like the little Vespas when it comes to bikes. Those little scooters. I think they're so cute because they come in different colors. Say red and blue and green. All the
They're cool.
little Vespas. They're adorable.
We have this this scooter gang that comes through because we're Silverton is a tourist town, and the state park is 10 miles south of us. It goes up in the hills and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
during the summer, every weekend there's a couple hundred bikes, motorcycles and bikes that come through Silverton. So occasionally we'll have this. It's about 15 or 20 guys on scooters. It's really funny and come through town.
Come on up, you kids. I don't want to make Marty do all the heavy lifting. Marty, you've been doing so good for, helping us out here, Marty. But come on, you kids. Let's get some extra talent
Yeah, there
up
you go.
here. Johnny, take the load up.
In
I mean,
fact,
God,
the
we're
dinner bell is
talking
ringing.
diet at this point.
I gotta go to my daughter's waiting for me to come have dinner. So
All right. Well, listen,
I'm
Marty,
gonna-
I'm glad. So, folks, Marty came up to clear some stuff about what he was talking about, electric vehicles and stuff. And the genius known as Poetry on Plastic, names won't be mentioned, but helped him out and gave him some information on it. His Lips Are Sealed, a great song, by the way. Vegetables are yucky stuff, says Bobby, 77 years young. Vegetables are for rabbits. I'm a carnivore. He's got the incisors. He knows
Go with
how
what
to-
works for you, Bobby. Go with
Yeah.
what works for you for sure. All right. Have a great
All right,
evening, and
Marty,
we'll see you
thanks
down
for
the
coming
road.
in.
You bet. Take
And I
care.
appreciate it. Marty, ladies and gentlemen, Marty in Oregon, one of the best we got. So, how's everybody feeling? I hope you're enjoying the channel above all things. That we're bringing it for you, trying to entertain the troops as best we can. Loki, I know you're watching. We hope that this is the kind of entertainment, the kind of guests that you love. And by the way, folks, I do have my Patreon, so let's take a look here. Let's get that link out there. Sue, do you want to do the link or should I do it? How would you like to work that? But anyway, yeah, I mean, we got.
I'm curious how all the tags are going. Are people doing them and stuff?
Are anybody doing the vinyl tags? We got the Beatles one up. Mark Morris got the Beatles one going. Let us know about that. I'm getting over a friggin' head cold. It's not fun this time of year. The cold bugs come out. Okay. Holy smokes, Dr. Rick. We love you, Rick. Thanks for being here. Okay. Roma loves Dan. Rach, the topics the last few weeks have been interesting. Well, we try and entertain. We try and interest you. Try and interest the people. Okay. And Tokyo goes, I'm whoops. I'm whoops. The Beatles tag, Mark Morris. The Beatles one is great. It is a great tag, Mark. And you got some big channels helping you out, jumping on that. So Rick, a tag is they do them. There's one big one for the overarching for the vinyl community. David Atkinson over the UK launched it this year back in December. And it's usually a series of questions about music, about your record collection. And it's just a chance to showcase your music and to get other people interested in what you're doing. So it's kind of fun. And it's a great way if you got a channel, you're trying to get out there and you're interested in getting subscribers and that sort of thing. It's a good way of generating some interest in getting a subscriber or two over your way. So that's what they are. And they can be on various topics. There's a soul and funk tag. Edwin's done the singles tag. Sue put the link out for that. And Mark here, he did the Beatles tag. I'm going to try the Americana tag this week. So Brian's done a lot of them. There's a Canadiana tag, for Canadians, you can do that. So there's a whole variety of them out there. So anyway, yeah, they can be, Rick. You got to pick your poison, whatever you're into. There was I know Psycho Platters, he did a monkeys tag a few years ago. That was fun to do. I did that one. So anyway, you can do all, whatever the hell you want, basically. The sky's the limit. All right, one of my favorites. It's not him. If 4D, if it's you better show up as your real self. I love 4D, but I tell you, he's been up here helping us out the last few weeks, and always an interesting topic too. Because I'm going, he goes, yeah, got to get the camera going so I know it's you. We don't want a 4D imposter. Holy smokes! But it is. I don't know. We try and keep the show interesting. We try and keep it entertaining. And for that reason, I think I flit about on different topics, things that interest me. Nostalgia constantly interests me. Pop culture interests me. I'm a consumer of pop culture. And, even the music's all part of that. Excuse me. There's your soul and funk tag, everybody. Check that. Here's your Beatles tag. And here's the big one, the big enchilada, David Atkinson's the 26 official vinyl tag. So check that out and get involved. Holy smoke. Yeah, so all these tags, there's probably more than that. I know there's a Canadiana tag.
Can you see Paul's comments?
Which Paul?
Breakfast King of Loyal.
No, I blocked
He
him.
goes out, Rachel, have you ever tried to juice a beaver? Ever tried to juice a beaver?
Juice a beaver. No, I haven't tried that.
That sounds pretty bassomatic.
Bassomatic, juice a beaver. My God, the bassomatic, amazing. Holy smoke. Can you throw another link, Sue, out to get into the show? Okay, so Tokyo Brian, big supporter. I did the main tag, Beatles tag, Canadian tag. I did Trisha's CD and cassette tag. That's a big one. And now I got to do the Americana tag. Then I am tagged out. That's going to be it. You've paid your debt. And there's the real Nicktronic. I've been trying to get you on. I think we're going to get him this Sunday. I'm hoping. I want everybody to support this young talent. And here's his channel one more time since we got him. Copy. Nick, I gave you a shout out earlier in the program at the top of the program. And for people to buy your new CD, it's ambient, it's experimental music. Independent artists, please support Nicktronic. Nick, we're glad you're tuning in and able to watch us. By the way, I don't know if I announced it. I think I announced it. Maybe I did. But I sold my budgie. The budgie PB Tall. If you stumble in here, I sold the budgie. It is now in the hands of an eager young budgie owner. Yeah, Sunday for sure. All right, you got to come up. Don't be shy. I tell people if you got a product, you're a musician, you want to do something, you got to share it. Herc, you're blocked. Yeah, he came in talking a bunch of smack, so I kicked him. In Restream. He's not kicked here. Like, obviously you can see his comments and stuff. So we're glad about that. I like Kirk. He just annoys me. I annoy him.
Do you remember how to go in and do it when you're in the show?
Huh?
Do you remember how to do it when you're in the show?
I know. I'll do it someday. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to get Nicktronic out. Oh my God. Prague Hat. That's a horrible story. Okay, how's 4D trying to get a TV show? We're trying to get him up here. No promises, ladies and gentlemen. We do what we can do, right? But anyway, there's Nicktronic. Please support him. And there's all these people out making music, doing stuff. Our own peeps are doing it. Sisters are doing it for themselves. Holy smokes. Anyway, Sue can read all your comments, so she's having fun seeing whatever the hell you're up to. Yeah. You Breakfast King is out there too? Good God. All right, here's a click. Is it my boy? It's my man. All the way from Manchester, Macunian Wonder himself. Let's reverse you so people can see what you got. You are beneath the planet of the apes. Do you know what, 4D? I can talk about anything. I met the black guy, okay? I met the black guy at a science fiction convention, and I got an autograph picture. He was a mutant in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He's bald, he's a mutant, and he's African-American, and he was very nice. I don't know what he did after that particular program, but it's the second one, and it had DeFranciosa or whoever was the actor that took over from Heston in the second one.
Did you keep the?
James Franciscus. It wasn't it James Franciscus or something?
Yeah, and Charlton Heston only agreed to do it as a favor to Arthur P. Jacobs, and he said the only reason he did it is because in the script
Yeah.
he gets to blow up the world at the end, so he was sure there'd be no sequels after that one.
I have been chatting with Ruth Ann. We're on the verge. We'll see if we can get her back. You never know what's going to happen. The one constant is change. So I'm trying to get her back. We'll see how we do. But yeah, I was talking to her over on the Instagram, the Vinyl Community Casting did a thing, and it was kind of funny because he put me on an ape body, you know, because the whole scandal and the outrage. I thought it was funny, and you know, because stuff like that doesn't bother me. Now I am a trans woman of color. Some would say it was racist, but I don't feel so. I think it was just all done in good fun. We love Vinyl Community Casting over on the Rachel Scoe Show. You know, the Vinyl Community Casting once used to have the subheader on the whole channel was dedicated to one particular outrageous YouTube channel with, you know, a transgender host or something like that, leaving no one's imagination who it was referencing. But anyway, 40 is so good to see you. What do you need, Sue? Okay, I got to go Avatar for the best. Okay, here we go. I'm excited.
It's getting dark in here.
Okay, we're turning more light on. Is that what's going on? Okay, can I come back on TV? All right, there we go. So we got the light on because it's getting dark now. Getting dark here. It's dark already in the UK. Holy smokes, no pun intended. A lot of interesting things going on. The latest outrage I heard, 40, and I won't belabor too much about this. Well, it was sad to see that they're hiding all the court records. Starmer and his infinite wisdom friend, they want to destroy all the court records so nobody can go and reference them. The news people can't go in there and file through court records to see what the hell's going on.
The government.
Yeah, I
knows
don't
it.
want to make 40 uncomfortable though. Let's not even talk to you about that. Let's
government,
talk about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Goldilocks, innocent or B&E artist.
The government knows it's on the way out, so it's burning its papers. That's what that's all
Burning
about.
the papers behind it. That's all it's doing. We love
But
our government.
As a change of subject, you're good at
Sure. What do you got?
Okay, which story is that from? You can see Tintin just leaning out the car.
Yeah, Tintin's getting a lift.
Yeah, he's getting a lift.
Okay, so Tintin. Oh my God.
Which one is it?
Is that Calculus Affair?
Right, I'll check for you if you like it. Is that your best guess?
It's my best guess is going to be the Calculus. It could be.
All right, because
Calculus
do you
Affair.
want another guess?
King Ottokar's scepter.
Which one is it? You can't have two guesses.
Is Captain Haddock anywhere in there?
He's not in the cast. Hang on, you might be right. Let me just see if I can.
If Captain Haddock's anywhere, that'll help me.
We're getting a tiny echo.
There's Snowy. Let me just have a quick look.
Yeah, well, Snowy's in every episode.
Yes. Let me take it out the box altogether.
Yeah, don't reveal.
No, there's only Tintin and Snowy in the car.
Okay, I'm going to go King Ottokar's scepter.
Okay, let me see if it's in the.
Oh, you know what it could be? It could be also Tintin and the Black Island.
You want loads of guesses, don't you? You.
Well, I'm trying to narrow it down.
Okay.
It's not me, it's 4D, and we can't help it. I'll take a 4D with an echo any day of the week.
Oh, have I got an echo? Let me sort that out, Rachel.
All right. Let's see if we can. Don't belabor, please.
Okay, just give me a second while you change the subject, and I'll bring it back to Tintin.
Okay. Holy smoke. What's going on?
I know. I can.
On fire.
No, he's got incense going. He's an incense. He's very, he's very spiritual.
Okay, I've just clicked on echo cancellation. So tell me if that works for you.
I think that'll do it.
Well, let's find out. Okay, so we need to find out what this episode is.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go.
That's You remember that what these models do is they pick an actual panel out of the original
Yeah, from the
stories.
comics.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
it's
a
the
panel.
crab. Look at that. They're showing it's the crab with the golden claws.
Does it say it? Because I can't see it, Rachel.
Yeah, over on the left, it shows Tintin on the cover. Look on the left, flip it around and look at it. Flip it around, look at it yourself. There's the book,
Oh,
Crab with
yes, yes,
Golden
yes.
Claws.
There you go. Did you say that? Did you say Crab with the
No, I
Golden
didn't.
Claws?
And you know what? Captain Haddock is in the Crab with Golden Claws, but I don't remember that panel. I have no memory, and I've read that book hundreds of times.
Right.
So does it say what page it's on? So can you grab the? It's going to be on the left-hand side. It's going to be Crab with the Golden Claws.
If I take the
Hang on.
perspex off
Let me get it
altogether,
right.
you get a better look at it without the case on it.
It's going to be towards the end. Yeah, towards the beginning. Okay, Crab with the Golden Claws. All right, hang on. Does it give us a page number? Here's the book it's
Ah, there
from.
you go. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, there's a now. Okay,
Did you
Freddie,
did
it's
did you see
beautiful.
did you see the
vignette.
1960s TV series of it, Rachel?
Okay, the live action.
No. There were two cartoon series, one in the 1990s, but one earlier
I remember
one.
that one. That was the Canadian one. They did in conjunction with the Canadian Nalvana, I think.
Right, but there was a Belgian one in the early 1960s with a
All
with a UK dubbing. Did that not come to Canada?
I'm sure we got it. The one I remember more is the more recent one from the 90s. What amazes me is I don't have a memory of that particular panel. Check this. This is from the same adventure. Look at that artwork.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that
Yeah.
something? All right.
Nice they gave it a full page.
Yeah. So yeah, he did these splash pages. Here's another one, the splash page from that particular episode. But I'm looking for the with the truck and everything. So I got to find the truck and the tow. Because honestly, I cannot remember that panel from this particular episode. Oh, here's another great action scene. This is Tintin running through the streets. Whoops, let me get it. Tintin running through the streets with snow.
There you go. Cool.
What action? What action, right?
Cool.
Amazing. If you're 11 years old, you want these books.
Well, when I was maybe 3 years old, that's when I saw the cartoon series. Ah, there you go. You found it.
There we go. So here's the whole scene. They run out. They find a car in the garage. They're going to make their getaway in it, but it's already held captive by a tow truck. So they're going nowhere fast.
So isn't it a great idea that they actually, rather than just make the model, they refer directly to a particular panel?
Well, I think the rationale is to try and capture the imagination of the fan base.
Yes.
I lament over that I didn't remember that scene outright. This is probably a stupid question, but is there any link between Tintin and Rin Tin Tin? The link is Tintin, and the link is that they both have a dog in them in their adventures. Milou in the French, and then of course you've also got Rin Tin Tin, the dog in the Adventures of Rin Tin Tin. But no, it's not related to. The Thompson twins named their band after someone in
Yes.
Tintin. Yeah, they named them
Yes.
after the Thompson twins, Thompson and Thompson. In French, they're Dumont et Dumont. And they're identical. And Thompson, I believe Thompson with the P, they have slightly different mustaches. So Thompson with the P, I think he has the curled mustache. There's a little bit of a flare on the mustache for Thompson, as opposed to Thompson, who has a more of a straight mustache.
Has the echo disappeared, Rachel, now?
I think it's good enough. I'm happy with it. They were friends with Ricky Tikki Tavi. Mongoose is Gone. Donovan's song. Love that song. So anyway, 4D, you've been watching events in the vinyl community with some interest. And you got into it. Yeah, I'm watching, some things are happening. You're not a shrinking violet.
No.
But anyway, I'm glad to have you on board. the numbers game, we talk about the numbers game. The views on the show have been very, very good indeed. I'm so happy with them. I mean, we are hitting much above our weight size, weight limit here. We're punching above our weight limit.
Well, for you, is the numbers racket related to the fact that your primary aim is to increase Patreon, so therefore the more viewers watch, then the more
Yes.
is that the rationale?
That's my hope, right?
Okay, right.
I mean, it's not working out at all, but that's my dream. Here
Right.
it is. If anybody wants to throw money at me, please do. Where is it? Hang on.
But
There we
Rob,
go. Here's the Patreon.
Rob Walker mentioned that it was an extraordinary ratio between the number of subscribers you've got and the off the charts views that you get.
Yeah, we
That
do
that's
pretty good for
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, that's not typical of YouTube, what's happening on the channel.
It's not typical of the vinyl community, more accurately, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a bit of an anomaly, vinyl community-wise,
right.
right? And as a matter of fact, I mean, the subscribers game, since we started the show, what have I lost? How many have I lost? Hang on. No, seriously. Yeah, it's just crazy. So, I mean, that statement by Rob becomes even more pronounced.
Right.
Channel. Six. So I lost another one. So currently we're down to 670 subscribers. And like I say, I don't really care about the subscriber count. What interests me is the engagement, right? We want to have the engagement. Rachel, you are just as, if not more entertaining Trump. Well, Trump's an entertainer. There's no doubt about it. Like him or hate him, the guy's an entertainer and has been doing it a long time.
So have you changed the rules now since the Democrats have for a while have fled? So the no politics rule, is that still in place or not?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, because
Okay.
I'll talk to you. It's more Trump that's the problem. You can Trump seems to be the lightning bolt. Go ahead.
The below the belt insulting comments.
Yeah, the below the belt insulting comments. Nobody wants that. I don't
Right.
mind somebody coming in with an opinion or they want to say something because it's really on their heart and they want to do it. I have no problem with that, right? Why would I? The same thing like with yourself, but like Rob Walker, same with Rob was very concerned because it's crazy where you guys are right now. It is nuts
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate and it's what we're dealing with, right?
I can show you two CDs that I got recently that are well worth recommending.
It's a beautiful selling point. And I love that. Rick, thank you so much. We're here to entertain. That's my function. And I try and be rounded enough where we can talk about this, that, or the other thing. And this is why 4D makes a great guest because he's seen a bit of life and he's interested in more than just the latest Pop 45 that came out. And so he's an interesting guy to engage with. It's somebody I enjoy very much. Do you drink at all? Do you drop a pint from time to time, 40, or is that you out of that?
I was half tanked on your show, and you're asking me if I
Right,
drink it all.
right. You are. That's right. You do. I forgot about that. Of course you do. So a 40 would be the kind of guy I'd love to have a few pints with. It would be a lot of fun.
You know the BBC remit on the charter
Yeah.
used to be three things: to inform, educate, and entertain in equal
Yeah.
measure. All those three things. Where the hell they are now, I don't know. But that was the remit of the charter: to inform, educate, and entertain.
Yeah, my idea is more on the entertainment. It's more of a
Yes.
comedy. It's more of a comedy show first, with
Yeah.
a little bit, because every now and then there's a tidbit or information, and people come in, and because we're not the Steve Westman show, we don't have access to the boys from Abbey Road to come in and tell us how they put together the latest Beatle reissue.
Right.
That's not this channel. We're not going to get Chad Kassam in to talk about his company and the latest, what they're doing with the Beach Boys, right? We hang out, we talk about whatever we talk about, whether it's astronomy or posters or collecting old books or like I was saying, is Dover Publication? I asked the question: is Dover a UK company?
I looked it up for you, and it's USA.
It is an American company.
Hmm.
They're an American company with a British sensibility, is all I can say. If you've ever seen the covers of those books, they're absolutely stunning. I love them, and I collected a great many of them
So
back in
Dover,
the day.
so Dover Publications is what America would have looked like if we had won.
It's very similar to if we had won. It's very similar to what it would look like. Uh, those ciders will confirm 40 likes a tipple or two. Absolutely. Absolutely. 40, do you have a favorite actor and actress? Who's your favorite actor? Who's your favorite actress?
When I was a teenager, Paul Newman was the role model that I'd want to be as cool as. So it was Paul Newman, which is why I was having a little joke, when I came up and I was trying to get Loki to do a Paul Newman graphic.
Yeah. You were
Okay,
mentioning Newman.
okay.
He was your guy for that graphic. Yeah.
And an actress in terms of sexiness at that time would have been Faye Dunaway, before she had the face jobs.
Well, this is one of the foibles that Hollywood's gotten into, and not just the women, but the guys too. Mickey Rourke probably being the most outstanding example.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just age gracefully. Just let nature do what it does. You look fine that way because everybody ends up looking like what's her name, Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm turning into my grandmother. I've now got my grandmother's face, for God's
Well,
sakes.
you may have her glasses. Got the granny. I've got the tortoise shell type, which these things seem to me they would be more in your speed. Like these would be very much in your lane, to your liking.
Hang on.
Okay, I'm going. Yeah, now see like that. I love those on you. Those
Well,
got a lot of character.
that's what I had when I first came on your show about 3 years ago.
Yeah, they got a lot of character. Is the prescription change between those and the Lennon-like ones you got?
Yeah, the Lennon ones are for closer to.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Spring Hill Jim, 4D, did you have a crush on Beryl Reed? Beryl Reed.
No, but she was a good character. And actually, Spring Heel Jim is responsible for me shelling out 60 quid this week.
Okay, what did you put it out on?
Well, Spring Heel Jim recommended a couple of. Well, he asked me in my Bernard Herrmann collection, did I have Twisted Nerve?
Ah, yes.
And I didn't. So I looked around, and there's a limited edition double album, but the best secondhand price I could get is 60 quid. So now the answer is yes. It hasn't arrived yet, but yes, now I have Twisted Nerve.
Okay, 40, what's the best cider in your opinion? The best cider.
The ones I'm drinking are 8.5%, and I think it's called West House. I could get a bottle and show you on the label. I think it's called West House cider.
Do you know what? I like my beer, but I don't like too much alcohol in my beer. Otherwise, it starts reminding me of spirits. I like to taste the barley, the hops. And so I like it down a little bit. Like 5% is great, 5.9, 6%. But I don't like going too high with the, high test beers and this kind of thing.
Well, German wheat beer is really good for that if you want to taste the hops.
We do have Joe, I gave you a lovely shout out early in the program. We were talking about the Universal Monsters. And of course, I can't help but think of yourself whenever that topic comes up.
1969.
Which would he want us to promote the most?
Okay. So, ask him type it out and ask him, like communicate with Joe yourself. We're going to promote him. We got to promote Joe Mayo. He's got a few channels. 40, do you watch the Joe Mayo Experience? You might as well call it the Joe Mayo Experience. He's got a number of brands out there.
No, I know he's a Beatles fan.
He's a good Beatles guy, yeah.
Because he comes on here occasionally. So he's one of those Beatles fans like Beatley Tone.
He did one. What was the last one he did? It was really good. He did a breakdown on like a smattering kind of Beatles. I forget what it was. It was just a smattering of Beatles stuff. It was like a shotgun blast of Beatles goodness.
Off topic, but that's
Okay.
that's a double CD for people to get. It's superb. So it's a soundtrack to one of the best westerns ever made, 1959, by Dmitri Tiomkin, and it's all the songs that are in the film are on there. There are outtakes.
Is that the one with Ricky Nelson in it?
That's the one. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Where there's almost no plot, and it's a lot of it's based in the jailhouse.
Dean Martin.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Dino's in it.
yeah. So I was so pleased to get that for 16 quid, and I think it might even be cheaper.
All
Yeah.
right, Sue asked the question. Hey, Joe, which of your channels should we promote the most here on the channel today? Which one would you like us to shoulder? And I know all of them, but we'll drop a link for at least one of them. Joe's a big fan of Planet of the Apes. Do you have a favorite Planet of the Apes movie for yourself, 40? Which one do you like the best?
Oh, by a mile, the first one. I've got the front of house stills, but it it would be difficult to turn the camera around to show you. But I've had
Yeah.
those. I've had those since I was about 13 years of age. It's for a lot of reasons. That's easily the best of the in the series.
I saw the first one when I was 10 years old, 1968. And I saw it at an outdoor theater with Ma and Pa. They decided to take the kids out. So my brother and I were in the car. We went and watched Planet of the Apes. And I think we also ended up watching Beneath the Planet of Apes. As a matter of fact, it could have been 69, 70 when the second one had come out because we were at the drive-in. And I think it was a double feature where Planet of the Apes and Beneath the Planet, they showed them both, I think is how it worked out. And I remember I like the symbolism in the second one, the nuclear thing, the mutants, all
Oh
that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
telepathy was all kind of cool. And I did like James Franciscus as an actor. He was great. But the first one freaked me out when the female astronaut died and her
Ah, yeah,
oxygen case had opened. And you're
yeah.
10 years old or 12 or whatever the hell. And they show her. That freaked me out.
Well, when I saw it at 13 and that scene came up, I mistook it. I thought that was the actress turning halfway into an ape because
Oh,
she
is
was
that
so
what you
she
thought
was
was
so with
going on there?
yeah. I got the wrong
Yeah,
end of
no,
it.
the oxygen went, so there was
Yes.
no protection or damage. And then the other one that freaked me out is when his friend, he's running he's in the museum and they cut the brain out of his
Oh
buddy.
yeah,
And
yeah. That was
that
horrific.
psychologically tortured as a little kid. You're going, oh my God, he's stuffed and they cut
Well,
his
that
brain out.
that scene and the end of that scene, which is the famous "Take your filthy hands off me, you damn dirty
Yeah,
ape," right?
yeah.
That's one of those long sequences up until then where there's no dialogue. So Jerry Goldsmith had to score the whole thing. So you get about 5 minutes of uninterrupted music in one of the best scores I've ever heard. Planet of the Apes, Jerry Goldsmith, and it was one of those times where you realize what bullshit the Academy Awards are, that Jerry Goldsmith didn't get an Oscar for that score. And also there was a big controversy between Planet of the Apes and 2001 about who got the best makeup for the monkeys.
Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I
And
can
I
see
could,
where that would be.
yeah, and I can no longer remember which one got the Oscar. I think it was Planet of the Apes, but the Kubrick's apes actually looked more ape-like.
Well, it was a big deal, and the makeup in Planet of the Apes, it was all the rage. Everybody was talking about, with Henry, who was the guy from Maurice Evans as
Oh
the
yes,
wizened orangutan, and then they
yes.
had Roddy McDowell, Kim Hunter, because they made the talk show circuit, and I remember those two coming out on Merv Griffin or something in full makeup, and the crowd went nuts
Well,
because it was all the rage, and they came out in their full makeup,
you know,
promoting the thing.
the original screen tests for that were 3 years earlier than the film was made, and they had Edward G. Robinson come in as Dr. Zaius and
So he
was
he
made up.
tested for the part, yeah.
Yeah, but everything had moved on by the time they got the money to actually make the film, so they got Maurice Evans instead.
Yeah,
They were-
well, let's see, 1968. So
yeah,
Edward G. Robinson, he died what, 70, 72, somewhere in there for him?
yeah. He died 73, and his last scene
73.
was his own death scene in Soylent Green. So
Oh,
he,
he went down in
he
that.
yeah, he took euthanasia, and Charlton Heston was by his side reacting as as
Yeah.
as Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony plays, and you see all these beautiful projected scenes of fields and trees while Edward G. Robinson starts to die, and the tears that you see in Charlton Heston were real because he knew at the time that he had a
This could be
terminal.
his final role. He was
Well,
getting.
he had a terminal illness and he knew it, so he knew this would be his
Uh,
final scene. So it's quite a
yeah.
moving scene that.
Okay, well, we've heard this story before. Edward G. Robinson couldn't take the makeup, so he left the project, right?
Right,
Because they had the two parts, the top part, and then they had the bottom. So
right.
when they talk it, they would join and it would work out. And of course, the other famous one was Buddy Ebsen. He couldn't handle the Tin Man makeup. He had an allergic reaction in the original Wizard of Oz, and so they got Jack. What's his name to do the Tin Man role? Who played the Tin Man? 40.
Oh, you know my
Come on,
memories.
Beetle Babe, help me out with the Tin Man. It was Jack.
You know my memory's going.
Mine too, buddy. I should know this. Ray Bolger, Bert Lahr, and Jack Haley. Jack Haley. That's
Okay.
the girl. Thank you. Yeah, she knows her stuff. Well, Judy Garland, right? The Judy Garland connection.
But you know, Roddy McDowell sued 20th Century Fox for the cysts in his eyes because of the Planet of the Apes makeup.
Oh, now that I did not know.
Yeah.
That story I didn't know at all. Yeah, Westworld with Yul Brynner. That was a good movie. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. The idea was better than the execution, in my opinion, about Westworld. You know,
I think it was the start of that motif of the unstoppable inhuman villain stalking people. You know, that ended up as the Terminator. I think it maybe started with Yul Brynner, the gunfighter. It was always there. You couldn't get rid of him.
On fire.
okay, question is 4D on fire? No, he's got incense going.
I get that question 3 times per
Okay,
episode.
and now you got the smoke and you're crackling. What are you crackling there? What
Oh.
paper are you rolling?
Let me show you the incense. Beetle Babe might be interested in the incense.
The crackling.
He's crackling. You were crackling for it.
Yeah, because I have to get the incense out of the bag, which is in this box. That's why. It's this incense, you see.
What's the song? Cracklin' Rose?
Crackling Rose.
Cracklin' Rose.
Crackling
or
Rosie,
Crackling
get on
Rosie.
board.
Yeah, Crackling Rosie.
Oh, it's Neil Diamond.
Buddy Ebsen
Yeah.
didn't just have an allergic reaction to the paint. His lungs were literally blocked up with the aluminum dust to where he couldn't breathe without an iron lung for a while. Hey, 4D, do you enjoy biographies or stories about old Hollywood? I just love them. I love
Yeah.
reading about the stars and the mansions and
Yeah.
all the goings-ons of these people and their foibles.
Yeah,
They have a lot of foibles.
I've got a few about directors that can be quite interesting. Biographies about directors. If the research is good and enough people will talk to the author, they can be quite revealing.
Wow, this is horrible. Does anybody know if Patrick's wife is okay? She broke her leg skiing on the weekend. Well, I wish the best for Patrick's wife. I hadn't heard that. First time hearing about it, Bobby. So hopefully, they got her off the hill and got the leg set for her and she's okay. You can only hope. One thing I do like, okay, here we go. Regarding my channels, Rach, I'm thinking of scaling it back to 2 again. Joe, I think that may be a wise decision. I think it's possible to spread yourself too thin because there's only so much time people have, to be out in a boot doing stuff. So I would think 2 channels would probably be good. That's about all I could handle.
I'm going to show you one more CD that I got.
All right, let's hang on, kids.
Because of the cover, I just love that sort of cartoonish cover.
It reminds me of old Warner Brothers art.
Yeah, it feels 1950s, doesn't it?
It feels like a 1950s Spike Jones kind of, I Freeman or whatever it was that did the Warner Brothers stuff. We were talking about their art the other week.
Right, so this is a French...
I Freeling.
A French 2-disc edition of various scores from Alfred Hitchcock films. And you get rare samplings like the theme from Rear Window, so it's worth getting for that. But also, I actually bought it for the cover. I just love that cover, you see.
We've got in our music room, we've got a replica of Rear Window. So it's a beautiful, brightly colored poster, and it does sterling duty for us in the room.
I remember it. Didn't you used to have it in the main room? Because I'm sure you it's in the background to your
I've
shows.
used it not in the main room, not where I filmed, but when I did my room tour of the movie room, it was certainly visible then. And I
Okay.
think if I've done anything on Instagram showing it, as a matter of fact, over on Pinterest, I've got it visible in my latest series of Pinterest shots. Let's find it. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yeah. I'll give you a shot of our room. I'll share this. Here we go. Angon. This is our movie room as it appears currently. Right over here, and there's Rear Window.
Where is it, Rachel? I can't see it.
It'll show up briefly if you look at your TV screen or the monitor where you and I are. It should show up shortly. About a 5-second delay.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
So there's Jimmy Stewart holding the
That's
binoculars.
beautiful. Yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
it's so bright and colorful.
Yeah.
And then over here on the left is James Bond. So there's a small Goldfinger poster. And then it's got the Aston Martin car. And then the Bond
Oh.
film series on Blu-ray, the complete Bond up to film 25. And then under there is the Manchurian Candidate. That's an actual Manchurian Candidate poster from the period that was
Wow.
gifted to us by Joey Callio.
So that's
And then
about
on the wall is King
that's-
Ottokar's scepter, Tintin.
so Manchurian Candidate. That's about 1959, I think.
I think it may be earlier. It could be that Frank Sinatra or the cast of thousands.
Yeah,
But there you have it.
yeah, and didn't he pull it when JFK got assassinated, or is that a different film that he wanted to withdraw?
I think it would be that film because it was all about an assassination and being taken down. Kim
Yeah.
goes, I love Pinterest. Yeah, so I put a lot of pictures up. I've got a Pinterest channel, and I put pictures of the home up because you never, you move out of a place or there's nostalgic. You have different things. How many posters do you own, 4D?
God, that's like Bobby Gass asking me how many soundtracks. And
There's a lot.
I blank out. I sold quite a few, like for instance, Goldfinger and Marnie and things like that.
Those would sell. Boy, they'll
Yeah,
sell.
yeah. I just made some stupid decisions in the past. So
As long
now
as you made good money on it.
I didn't. That's the that was what was
Yeah,
stupid.
that's hurtful. Yeah. The market
Um,
nowadays, the internet's changed and helped things out. Also, as a follow-up question for you, where does your 4D title come from? Does it come from 4D Man, the movie?
Okay, so the first question, Joe, is between the ones that are framed all over the walls and the ones that are folded up in drawers, probably maybe 200 film posters. 4D comes from the 1959 film, which is when I was born, called 4D Man, with an actor who I thought should have been as famous as Steve McQueen, but didn't quite make the grade. Whose name escapes me now, but he was the
Robert
lead.
Lansing.
Yes, Robert Lansing, and he also was in a Star Trek episode, which was supposed to be a spin-off series, and it didn't make it. It was a pilot.
Oh, yeah, that
Ass-
is called
Assignment Earth. Assignment Earth.
Is the episode Assignment Earth? Terry Garr
Yes. Yeah.
famously Pierce's secretary, and
Yes.
she was just a kid for that thing. And he
And-
was such a good-looking guy, and he had the little device, the pen thing, and
That's right. So he was like a CIA spy, but from the future.
correct.
Going
Yeah.
into that. So the whole series was supposed to be him and Terry Garr, and they would make a whole series based on that pilot. But for some reason, they didn't run with it.
I love British science fiction. I love British film generally. I have a real
Yeah.
affection for it.
Yeah.
So one of
Joe,
the films that freaked me out as a kid was Day of the Triffids. Love that movie. That's a great British film.
1963.
Oh, the creepy plants that freaked the hell out of me.
Keep
Okay,
Joe's
the
keep
music. Yeah.
Joe's comment up because
It's right there. Take it on.
yeah, the thing about that, Joe, is it all it is a brilliant jazz score, but the reason why you feel it's weird is because they raise the volume of the score very, very high, so it's like right in your face as well as in your ears, and that's why it seems like really weird. But yeah, it's great, and I look for that soundtrack, Joe, everywhere, and I can't find it. It was by a jazz guy called Ray Carmichael, who then turned to Jesus, and all he did after that was gospel music. And him,
Religious stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and his relatives have got a YouTube channel up that I've corresponded with about their father, but no sign of the soundtrack anywhere. I don't know if they've still got the master tapes from the film.
Okay. Do you want to drop the link for Joe Sue or okay? Links out there, Joe. Come on up. Let's talk Hollywood. Let's talk film. Let's talk, movies, posters, whatever the hell we want to talk about. Always good to have Joe on the program if we can get him. Yeah, Gary Seven was his character's
Yes,
name.
that's right, Gary Seven. Yeah, that was a really good episode. One of the last really good ones, I think, in Star Trek.
It was good. I mean, Star Trek still they were third season is generally regarded as kind of the weakest in the series.
Yes, it is.
But,
Yes.
but I loved it all. I love, Star Trek is Star Trek, and you love the chemistry with the characters and stuff. And,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
they had some great writers on the program.
I misinformed everybody last time when I told you about Isaac Asimov's 3 stages of science fiction. I fucked that up,
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Okay.
Stage 1 was adventure dominant, which would be like the early 1920s. And stage 2 was science dominant. That's what I got mixed up with, where the technical science was dominating the narrative. And stage 3 was sociology dominant.
So an example of the sociological works of Isaac Asimov, like I, Robot, would fall into that area, the morality of it all.
Yes. And I think you could probably add Ray Bradbury to that. He was quite a humanitarian anyway.
Joe Mayo, 2
Hi.
channels, Joe Mayo. You got 3 right now, Joe?
3 channels?
You got 3 going right now?
Yeah, well, me and Mr. Mayo, of course, is the main one. And then I have the movie one, Mr. Cinemayo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to promote the third one or not, because I don't know if I'm going to be keeping it the retirement.
I like
channel.
the idea of movie. I like the idea of movie and records because there is a big movie community out there for Blu-rays, 4K, all the rest of it. Right.
Yeah, I always joke and say I like to have everything on one channel, but you can't have people talking about Love Me Do 1 minute on my channel. Next minute, I got slasher films on there where people are getting their heads lopped off. People are not all into that.
Yeah.
So I want to show you this. I dragged this out. Oy.
Okay, hang on. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's
Okay,
beautiful.
holy smokes.
Beneath the planet. You see, I just don't have any damn room in here. That's all.
Well,
Do you know what, Joe? I was telling 4D that I got the autograph off the black guy that was in that movie. The lead mutant, or he was the spokesperson for the mutants there.
Joe, can you hold it up all the way so it like travels upwards?
It's
So I can see
Don
the size
Pedro
of it?
Colli, his name is.
I think that's an insert poster, isn't it? What they call an
Yes, it's
insert
an
poster.
insert. I can't get back far enough, but
I got you.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's big.
that's
the light is
beautiful.
rough in here.
Wow, that's lovely.
That is a guy. I like the dimensions on it, actually.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a lot,
I
of,
have a lot of
places I
posters.
could put that, man.
Well, what I do
posters, yeah.
what I do with insert posters, Joe, is all my doors are banged up, so they're perfect size to put on your doors. Just nail them to your doors. So I've done that with the insert posters.
Yeah. Well, one time you should come up on my Mr. Cinemayo show on do a live stream there.
Yeah,
But we do it kind of late here. So where are you from? I'm guessing.
UK.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I usually start around 5 o'clock or so, or 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern here where I am in New York time.
Right.
Now, in the evening, 5 in the evening.
Yeah, late afternoons. That's about when we do it. Do it
Yeah,
every
so it's
Monday.
like 3 o'clock in the morning for him.
The,
I think.
the first time I showed up on Rachel's Ghost, Joe, I did a poster showing. I must have shown about 30 fucking posters that were on the floor. So the idea was I would just remove each one and you'd see the one underneath. But everybody in chat got seasick because the camera was all over the
Oh, there
fucking
was like,
place.
because you were moving the camera around
Yeah.
a lot, you know.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, Joe, you got a double fantasy sign there. Is that new to your collection? And if so, is it an official store promo? The one up on the wall looks great. There.
Yes, it is. It is new and it is an official store promo. Boy, you should have seen the effort in me trying to get that up there fairly recently because I hide everything behind me, but I can't get near any of these cases.
How are you doing, Joe, for space? Like, it looks like every square inch of that frickin' wall is covered.
No, it's a tiny room. There's no room. I'd like to hang this poster up, but I put it right over there where Ringo is, except that's a closet door. That's a door.
Right.
So it's not like it's a wall. I mean, this is ready for hanging. It has the wire on the back and everything. But this I'm hoping to get a bigger place in a couple of years. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, what was the last you were doing? You did a video. I haven't seen it yet, but it just I remember it came by in my recommendations, and it's like a scatter blast of Beatles. It's like this, that, and the other thing. It was intriguing. I like what I was seeing, but it's a recent video. Did maybe a week ago? Am I right about
You're
that?
losing me because I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you did
video?
one. You did a Beatles special. I'm sure it was your channel.
Man, I'm lost. I'm getting old. I can't remember. Either.
Yeah, it's all right. The two of us, Joe. The two of us.
Can't
Anyway,
remember what I had for breakfast.
Joe, here's where you got to go next. You got to go up on the ceiling. You're gonna have to go Michelangelo.
And I wish, I'd like to have this room for music and Beatles videos. I'd like to have another room where I could do movies. Haven't decked out in
Could you
movies.
create the vibe?
I mean, you see over here where I have this little Jaws thing.
Yeah,
hanging.
yeah.
I have a little space here where I could stand this poster up here. Like, this is weird how when you're trying to reach. And you
Yeah,
can't know what
back
side
there.
it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
I do that.
It's an interesting dilemma that you both have actually, and it sounds like you've dealt with it in different ways. So you've just mentioned, Joe, that you might be talking about "Love Me Do It" 1 second, and then the next second, if you're talking about slasher movies, half the audience might be put off. So what you've got on Rachel's Ghost, as far as I can see, is it's like a free for all, and you never know from one show to the next where the hell we're going to go with whatever subject.
I think
And
that's
so
the beauty of it. For me, that works beautifully because it's a niche. Nobody else does it, kind of like what I do that way. So.
Right, yeah. So it's kind of become the trademark. So now when people tune into Rachel's Ghost, they know it's going to be a bit anarchic and it could go in any direction. But if you're trying to make a trademark on a channel, like I think Joe does, it can throw people a bit if you then take a diversion.
Well, people want them to do the Beatles stuff. The Beatle people want them to do the Beatles stuff, but the Universal people, the movie gang, is going to want them to do the movies.
I know, but how about this for an idea? What about if there was a specific day on your channel, Joe, where it was always, say, about film, so people would know that
like Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, but so if it was Thursday, it would be film day. But if it was Tuesday, it would be like music day, maybe something like that.
Well, I've thought of that, but I don't have it too formatted only because with Beatles anyway, you never know what's going to come up. If there's news, like there was just news of some new releases coming out, so I had to do a breaking news thing there. It might be movie day that day,
yes,
and stuff like that. And people say, of course, if you're not interested in something, you can just skip and wait for what you are interested in. But you'd be surprised how many people just think, I'm out of here.
They go, I'm not. That's not my thing. I'm gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and YouTubers seem to be aware of viewing habits. So if you get people into the habit of viewing, but then if you throw the habit by not broadcasting on the usual time, you might lose some people that way.
Well, there's that too. Well, the thing is that I started a third retirement channel. I started thinking, there's a big audience out there, older people for retiring and stuff.
Yeah, the boomer brigade.
That's another niche I could get in. And then I want to, I want to do them on my regular channel. Would be nice. I was even thinking of changing the title. I mean, Mr. Mayo in retirement or something to attract retirees.
You know what
Eagle
it is, Joe?
search,
Because I think you yourself are a personality. You go, okay, I'm kind of done with Beatles right now. I want to do this. I'm more motivated. I'm more interested. I'm more energized. Talk about this topic right now. And then, because otherwise you get into the grind where you go, I'm the Beatles channel. I got to go back in and do a yet another Beatles thing, and you may not be feeling it that particular episode or that
Well,
day.
it's gotten to the point where, I mean, I'm always feeling it to some point. Don't get me wrong. The Beatles are always going to be something I'm going to do, but yeah, there are times maybe where I don't have a new idea or something like that. I'd like this to be just my main channel. Ideally, to be a channel. It's just about Mr. Mayo, Joe Mayo. It's everything that I do, everything I like.
Yeah,
But
kind of like what I do, basically. I
yeah,
talk
well, you
about
do
whatever the hell I
mostly
talk about.
live stream. Though live streaming, you can talk about anything, but
True.
videos.
Right,
Yeah,
that's a good
true.
point. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Okay, so Joe, do you have a preference for DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K format? And do you have a 4K player? First of
No,
all,
well, here's the thing. Blu-ray. I'm having because I did everything else. VHS. I skipped over Laserdisc though, and DVD and now Blu-ray. And I love Blu-ray. I know you did 4K recently, Ray. You went up to 4K.
yeah.
I hear good things about some of them, great things about some of them. Some things I hear, depending on the title, it's not that much of an upgrade.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in that. That review is 100%. When it's done right, it's incomparable. And the 5.1 Dolby Atmos, all the tricks and the bells, the whistles, fantastic. But there's a lot of movies Sue and I have picked up where we go, God, that was a waste of money. One example was I bought Pee Wee's Big Adventure, right? That's a great movie. It's a Criterion. It's beautiful. It's a 4K treatment. You were mad at me because it was expensive, right? It was they want a lot of money for it. Well, yeah, but you don't. It's a gamble, right? But I looked at the reviews. What people are saying, they go, the 4K transfer is beautiful. I just think when I saw it, it didn't blow me away. You know what blew me away in 4K? That you go, oh my God, is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a beautiful. You want that in 4K. It's just the Nolan films. He does really good. Some directors are better, and some films take to 4K better than other films. And it's really a crapshoot. You got to be careful. Find a reviewer you trust and go that way. I watch a number of channels that do movies. Serial at Midnight is one. I like Daisuke Beppu, the Criterion guy from Japan. He's now in LA. He's fantastic, that guy. I've had him on the program, or I've been on his program. Super nice guy and incredible collection. He has everything Criterion's ever done.
The thing I want to say,
So go ahead,
4K,
Joe.
real quick with 4K. I keep saying if the day comes where there's something that I have to have that's not available on Blu-ray or something, they'll push me into it. Now there's a Arrow release of Westworld, which I just mentioned. Westworld is one of my favorite movies. I was 11 when I saw it in the theater, so I was blown away by it at that age. And okay, I have it already on Blu-ray, right? The 4K has new interviews with James Brolin and Richard Benjamin,
Right,
and I've
for the
never
extras.
seen them anywhere talking at length about Westworld. So I'm like, well, if that's exclusive to 4K, I'm going to have to get it.
Well, yeah, and I don't have a 4K television, but I have a 4K player. So sometimes I buy a 4K for the extras, for things like you just said. But I at my old age, I think and my eyesight's failing anyway.
Well, that
I
happens
think
too. You figure I never used to need glasses when I first started making videos. I didn't need glasses.
yeah. So I'm happy at settling for 1080p, but when I'm looking around for what best edition to get, I always look to see whether the Blu-ray producer has found an original neg, because that's more important to me. If you rather than a copy neg, if they've got the original neg of the film, that makes a big difference. And another thing that's worth knowing for Blu-ray collectors is look for films that were filmed in VistaVision. VistaVision is the sharpest lens that was made by Hollywood, but it was too expensive. So it stopped pretty much after Alfred Hitchcock's. When Alfred Hitchcock left Paramount, I think after North by Northwest, I think they ditched VistaVision there, and Marlon Brando's One-Eyed Jacks, I think, was the last mainstream VistaVision picture. But you look at those 1950s films that were filmed in VistaVision, and you get those on even without 4K, just on Blu-ray. Just amazing picture. It's not just it's a combination of the sharpness and how vivid the colors are, because very often with a Blu-ray or a DVD you sacrifice one for the other. So if you prioritize sharpness, the hues of the colors tend to be not so sharp. But with VistaVision, you get both.
You know, Joe, you're very privileged. You live in one of the great cities of the world, an entertainment capital. What would be interesting to me, I would love to see you do, would be for you to go on the road and go, they filmed this here, and this was
Oh
here,
yeah,
and this
great
happened
idea.
here, and because of all the history where at the shooting that's gone on, Scorsese alone with the love letters that he's done to New York, Woody Allen, it's one of the great cities. Everybody loves it. I'm so happy that my son went to New York and went into Greenwich Village and he had the coffee and he grabbed a book and he just had the greatest time reading a book in a coffee house in Greenwich Village. He just absolutely freaking loved it.
London, Paris.
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time in the village. You know, I'm not in the city. I'm on the island, but still, I used to go there all the time. But I haven't been there in a hell of a long time. I think 2022 was the last time I
Yeah.
was there.
Well, you got to have a reason to go, right?
Yeah, if I went there to see Ringo Starr,
Well, there's a reason, right?
you know.
But that idea, like doing the things. Coney
Wait a
Island.
minute,
Hey,
I
Roy,
met Sean. I'm sorry, I met Sean Lennon in October. That's the last time I went there for
Cool.
that. Too.
okay, so yeah, you went and saw Sean. Okay. Tough love approach. I love Jim. Jim, you're a funny kid. But yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Courtney, do you think the British Film Institute or Studio Canal will ever restore and release Dirk Bogarde? I don't like Dirk Bogarde. We watch a lot of Dirk Bogarde, don't we, Sue? Remember, he did so many great films as Sebastian, and I believe that's the film we saw
It's
was
it's
Sebastian.
it's a real good question, Springheel Jim, and I get pissed off with all the re-releases, re-editions of films that are already in Blu-ray, to the neglect of those films like Sebastian, where it's never been put on Blu-ray anywhere in the world. I don't understand the laws of how these films fall into public domain. But once they fall into public domain, that puts people off doing an edition. And you would think the opposite. You would think, well, it's up for grabs. Why doesn't a Blu-ray producer do it? But I think they're worried about the fact that it's accessible for free because it's public domain, means that if they then do an edition, they've got the rivalry of the fact that they see it in a worse quality for free. That's the best I can come up with about why Sebastian hasn't been put on Blu-ray. But the next best thing, Springheel Jim, is to get yourself the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack, because that's a really interesting score for Sebastian. And it was the film that Jerry Goldsmith did right after Planet of the Apes. I mean, what a contrast, man! He came to England and
jump,
did Sebastian. Yeah.
I guess they call it range for it. The boys got range.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. More than any other composer, I believe. I mean, even those people who might prefer John Barry or John Williams or Bernard Herrmann, they'd have to concede that the guy with the most versatility was Jerry Goldsmith. If you look at his back
Nicholas
catalogue.
Rosa.
Well, Miklos Rosa, he was a big specialist of the epics, wasn't he? And before that, the film noir stuff.
Yeah, maybe Sunday we got. I'm going to get Nick. I'm hoping I can get Nick Tronick up to talk about his music. Maybe we can get a few CDs in people's hands from his appearance here. I love talking film, and I've got a good film collection. It's not massive, but I've got a lot of films that I just love that I want to have. Plan 9 from Outer Space should be on 4K. I think,
Yeah.
I think so. Hey, it's not the worst movie
I
ever
was
made.
just going to say that. There's a lot worse than that.
You know what a bad movie is? It was put once. A bad movie is one that shouldn't entertain at all. It should bore you to tears.
Right, I agree.
Plan 9 does not bore me.
No.
It's funny, it's laughable, it's crazy. You can see the props bouncing around, and the
Well,
dialogue is ridiculous, but
well,
fun. It's a good movie. It's a good watch.
for all his lack of money, Ed Wood was an auteur. You can recognize an Ed Wood movie because of the campness of it, even though it's unintentional all of the time. It's got Ed Wood written all over it. And if you get around to reading his novels and his short stories, there's the same hilarious gaffes that are made, but in prose instead. And somehow he comes across loud and clear as a unique personality. So that's the definition of an auteur.
Yeah, did you ever see any Andy Milligan
Bob,
movies?
yeah, time out.
Andy Milligan? Yeah,
No.
those are horrible movies.
All right.
Yeah, Joe. So we've talked about this before with the Universal Pictures, the Hammer horror
Yeah.
films. You're a
Those are my
Universal
favorites of
guy.
all time, the Universals.
Yeah, you're the Universal guy.
You mean the Universal Monster movies?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Joe is very knowledgeable.
Which is your favorite out of the lot?
See, my favorites are different from best, you know.
Right.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That's my
Oh,
favorite.
that's wonderful. Look, that's wonderful. You know what breaks my heart though, Joe, is they dynamite the castle at the end. I
Yeah.
just think that was such a beautiful model, and to see it being blown up breaks my heart.
Yeah, and if there's one thing in the world that I want more than anything with film, it's if they can ever find the footage of the Frankenstein monster played by Bela Lugosi in that, who spoke. He had dialogue through the whole movie, but when they played it back for the screening, everybody laughed, so they cut the dialogue out of it.
Yeah,
I thought. Go ahead,
Yeah.
40.
yeah, I regret that too, because I think a Hungarian accent for the Frankenstein monster, I think that would work for me.
Well, the thing is, I could get heavy into this, but that movie takes place as a sequel to the film before it, The Ghost of Frankenstein, in which, at
Yes.
the end of that movie,
Yes.
Lugosi's brain goes into the monster, and he has a
Yes.
few lines in Lugosi's voice at the end of the previous movie, and nobody laughed then.
One of the charming things about that whole monster series, Joe, to me, was like any good myth, there's a sequence that it follows. So wherever they die, and then then the next episode, you find out the Frankenstein monster sort of locked in that ice cavern behind
I
the
love
ice,
that.
and they got I love that continuity. There's something that makes that really primal and mythic when they do that.
And that's why I love like the Friday the 13th films with Jason, the character of Jason with the hockey.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's just like the Frankenstein movies. He'll drown in one of
Right.
them, and then you'll find him underneath the water. They'll revive him, and then
Yeah.
they come out. It's just like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that continuity idea.
Yeah.
What about what about the? Let me just find one, Joe, and see. You might already have these, but
So I
give me a
bought
second.
the. While 40's doing, I bought the. I showed Joe when he was here last time,
Yeah,
or one of the
right.
times. I bought the box set, and it's great because it's got all the special features. That was interesting because I watched every single special feature with every single film. There was a lot of great information there about, like you were saying, Bela Lugosi, the talking, the Frankenstein, because Boris Karloff was dead set against Frank. He felt the monster should not speak. And his daughter, in retrospect, said he was wrong on that. It
I
was
agree.
a good
He's
idea
wrong.
to bring more emotion in, more relatability by having the monster, so to speak, talk. So, Alvin Costello Meet Frankenstein is my fave movie. Fave movie poster, says Bobby. That's a great movie. That is a
Oh,
fun
it's
movie.
classic, Bobby. It's classic.
Yeah, I love that film. I don't have a copy of it currently, but I've seen it many times. There he's sitting in there, and the coffin's moving for Dracula.
I watch
it's
that's
great.
my go-to Halloween movie every year.
Now, what's that, Sue? Oh, there's different versions of the poster, like in all things in life, I assume. Universal started my fandom, but later Hammer and Amicus for me. I liked Hammer because of the bosoms in the Dracula. They'd always have good
Oh yeah,
bodies.
I'm definitely all
They
for
had a
that.
lot of bosoms.
Yeah, the color. Yeah, I like Hammer too. By the way, I really like. I love
Yeah.
Hammer, but to me, it's not. They're not as much fun. Oh yeah, the script. I'm sorry, the script books. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Okay, hang on.
do you know about these, Joe?
yeah. I have that. Yes, I have them.
Okay, so this is
It
this
has
is
the
this is
dialogue in there, the original dialogue.
that's right.
Yeah.
But what's beautiful about them is that they take photographs of the script, so they take facsimiles of it.
Yeah.
So it's printed on a typewriter.
Wait a
and
minute. Wait a minute. Yours look like the. Okay, I thought for a minute they were hardcover. Mine is soft cover.
Yeah,
They were just like-
yeah. Well, this one is hardcover. You can get them
Oh
in
wow,
both.
that's my favorite Universal movie.
Yeah, you can get them in both. The print is no better in hardcover, but
Good.
The Wolfman was good. Was that
Yeah.
your favorite,
No,
Sue?
it was really. It
yeah,
Was dark. It was really good.
Hold
sometimes
on,
they
I
do.
gotta make this big here.
Yeah.
This
Sometimes they
sound-
do. Yeah.
But what
so
I like
sometimes-
about that is I like the Metal Luna Mutant in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And sometimes you get really rare ones like this, which was a script that was never filmed.
Oh yeah, that I don't have. Yeah.
Right, there are a few like that. So they were developed as a screenplay. They have a treatment, they have a screenplay, they have a script. But for one reason or another, which I can't remember now, maybe availability of the actors,
Yeah.
it never was filmed.
Yeah, go.
So and there's
Yeah,
that
oh,
one.
yeah.
There are about 3 different scripts for in this particular book, so it's quite a thick one. That one.
Yeah.
What I love about Frankenstein is the opening scene where Frankenstein's and the bride show up, and they're in the underground in his lair. Absolutely astounding
beautiful.
filming.
By the
I
way,
love that.
Dracula's Daughter. I don't have that one. Didn't know that was available. And I got to say, that is the most underrated movie of Universal. I love that movie.
Yeah, well, this is a different publisher in a series called is it Tales from the Script, something like
And it
that.
still says Tom Weaver, who I knew. I hung out with Tom Weaver.
Oh, that's cool. He's done a lot of DVD commentaries, hasn't he? As well?
Commentaries, yep.
And that one, which was the kind of last in the straight series.
Yeah, the end of the road. But I still love it. And House of
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
I agree. I love it too, and that's the one before they did that.
Yeah.
But you can also get this script, which was
That
made.
I've never seen.
So that was made for Lon Chaney in a talkie that didn't get made.
Yeah,
so,
then he died.
but so the script survived, so it's in there. And then somebody mentioned in chat before,
Yeah, that I have.
Yeah, we got
That's
it.
the
That, I love
script.
that thing.
and this was one, Joe, that I would love to have seen. So the script was developed and it was never
Yeah.
filmed. The Wolfman versus Dracula. You know, they have every other combination of monsters fighting each other, but this one. So they
Well,
actually
that's interesting
scripted
because
it.
I did not know about that one and some of the others. I have to look them up.
And then
So, folks, if you're looking for these, you can get them all very reasonably, all in one beautiful little box. The Universal Classic Monsters. Look at this one's 4K. Oh my gosh! And it is a good transfer. It looks really good, kids. So you
Son of
get
Frankenstein.
all the original main films.
I
All right.
love Son of Frankenstein too. I mean, I love all of them. Yeah, and
this
Lugosi
is
steals that show. I think.
this is the last one I'll show you. I've got a few more, but this is the last one I'll show you, which is a
Oh,
classic,
yeah.
of course.
Beautiful
Yeah.
artwork on that.
Yep.
So, Rachel, what about you? Which was your favorite out of the lot of them?
Boy, oh boy, that's a great question. Sue and I were talking. Sue's favorite is the Wolfman. She really, it was so good. The one that was surprising, was the Invisible Man. The violence in
Yeah.
the Invisible. There's one scene where he's beating up the cop, and
Yeah.
you were astounded at the violence in that.
Hits him with
On
that
range.
table on his face.
Yeah, with the table, the violence of
What's
it.
his head? Yeah. And the thing
Yeah,
is,
Invisible
too,
Man. Yeah.
I think, believe it or not, what started me was House of Frankenstein and The Mummy's Hand. Those two Universals. That's made me the horror fan I am.
My personal favorite, and it's just so crazy, is Dracula. And the problem is when you get somebody like Mel Brooks who goes out and does Dracula Dead and Loving It, when you get a Mel Brooks guy or looking at Frankenstein, you take serious acting, serious drama, and that the parody almost overshadows. People remember more of the parody than the original source
This
material.
happens.
When the parody takes over, it's kind of a blurring thing, and it's kind of a hate thing I have for it, because I want to honor and respect the original actors that did such iconic work, but still you can't help but when the guy comes in with the
I
arm and
was going to tell you, you're reading my mind.
yeah, well,
Because
yeah,
I went to see at these revival theaters in Greenwich Village. Actually, I went to see Bride of Frankenstein, and everybody was howling with laughter during the Blind Hermit scene, in
yeah,
Ah,
because of the
oh,
because
Young
of Mel
Frankenstein.
Brooks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and when you
Oh,
see the inspector with the wooden arm in Son of Frankenstein, everybody's laughing because they're seeing the wooden arm
Because they
yeah,
again
didn't, they,
right.
in Mel Brooks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that. And I also hate Mystery Science Theater. I'm sorry. I know people there love it. I hate it.
Well, yeah, because again, I think it just speaks to honoring the original work, and the only reason the parody works is because you have the incredible, iconic acting and imagery that accompanied the original presentation. Now, in
What?
talking about these horror movies, I got one a sleeper hit. This for you, 40. You're gonna love this. You've got to watch The Daughter of Frankenstein, which was an exploitation
I love that thing.
1958.
That's one of my
What?
favorites.
I know.
What year? What?
1958.
Oh, right,
It's the
okay.
daughter of Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's daughter, not to be
Frankenstein, yeah,
picky, but
Frankenstein's daughter. Sorry,
Okay.
Bill's right. She gets into a like a car accident, is disfigured horribly, and then they bring her back to life. She's a friend of a girl, and it's a very Americana setting for this thing, modern America.
that's why I liked it, because when I saw it when I was about 10 years old and I lived in Queens, New York, and the whole setting, the
Really
house, the
spot.
basement, reminded me of the house and basement I lived in. It could have been happening right outside my front door. Frankenstein's.
What I love most of all about Sue's choice, which is the Wolfman, and
Yeah, Sue
and
likes that.
and Lon Chaney made that part his own, not just as the Wolfman, but as Lawrence Talbot. He just
Yeah.
made it indelibly his own. And yet, despite that, the most marvelous scene-stealing actor in that particular film was Maria Auspensky.
Is she
Anytime she
the
showed,
gypsy? Is she
yeah,
the old gypsy?
yeah, she just knocked everybody else out of the
Yeah,
way.
she's good. Yeah.
And yet she was so still in her acting. So every time I see that and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, Maria Auspensky steals
Yeah,
everything
she's
she's in.
wonderful. And by the way, I think today would have been Lon Chaney's Jr.'s birthday. It is his, I think he would have been 120 today. I think
Right.
Can you imagine? My
Wow.
gosh.
1906, I believe.
1906, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen the Spanish Dracula. It's very good. It's different, but it's included as one of the special features in this box set. So, highly recommend this. It's got great interviews with surviving people involved with the production. Film critics weigh in. It's just a very, very nice set, and 4K can't be beat.
The Spanish version of Dracula, which was filmed, I believe, at night, because the American crew did it with Lugosi during the day, and then when they went home, the Spanish crew would do the same sets at night.
Yeah.
Now, everybody says the Spanish film's better, but I personally, I think it looks great. The camera work is great in the Spanish
Yes.
version. A lot more
Yes.
interesting. But they
Yes.
don't have Bela Lugosi. They don't have Dwight
Yes.
Fry.
I
They don't
agree.
have Edward Van
Yes.
Sloan. They don't have the actors.
Yeah, I agree. The camera works miles better, but without those actors, it loses something
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Johnny, you're absolutely right. Nosferatu is a great movie. It is scary, and the filming is beautiful. It's the German Impressionist film school. So films like M fall under that category,
Yeah.
which is a great noir. Very, very. I don't. M. Remember with Peter Lorre, and he's a murderer, and the little girl in the balloon floats up, and you know that she's been taken. It's a very. It's brutal. It's a very dark, dark film, but beautifully filmed. Fritz Lang, of course,
When I-
famous for Metropolis.
When I was a boy in the 1960s, those Universal monster films were having television premieres in the UK, like the first time ever in the 1960s that they were shown on TV. And my dad was kind enough to let me stay up and watch them. and other people's dads must have done the same, because in the schoolyard the next day we'd be all walking around like that, imitating Boris Karloff. But the gift of letting me stay up as a child to watch those films is to indulge that sense of wonder that you get from the continuity. You know, a kid in those days, and they're seeing Lawrence Talbot discover the Frankenstein monster in that ice cavern, all walled up in the ice. Fucking hell, that's just, you know, that's your whole world for as long as that film lasts.
Exactly. That's what happened to
Yeah.
me. It happened to me.
Yeah, just beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know where kids today get their sense of wonder from, but I think it's really important function of art to do that, to take the roof off your imagination one way or another, and open open your mind up to those. I'd have to think about it a bit more, but there's something quite profound about those mythic connections, and I think ancient Greece was onto the same thing, and I don't think that the Universal Monster series are any less than Greek mythology.
Interesting comment for Bobby Gass. Bela Lugosi played in the worst flick ever called Planet Nine. We talked about that. Plan 9 from Outer Space, the Ed Wood film. Joe and I think, are more in sync about this. Bobby, even though they call it the worst film of all time, I don't think it really is. I've seen a lot worse or less entertaining films. Plan 9 from Outer Space genuinely makes me laugh.
Yeah,
Just,
it's so
you can't help it.
inept, and there's so many mistakes, and it's so incompetent that it's unintentionally fun, at least.
It's the earnestness. It's because it's got all this sincere earnestness.
Yeah.
They're so earnest, from the director down to the actors. You stupid people with your stupid minds, like
stupid.
Yeah.
You see, it's an alien talking like that. You see,
Yeah.
your stupid minds.
So I mean, there's that, and it's got Vampirus great in the thing, and Tor Johnson is so good in it.
I mean, the Tim Burton Johnny Depp film Ed Wood was really good for that, and I think the reason why it was good is the same reason that the Gene Wilder Mel Brooks Young Frankenstein was good, is that they parody it, but they love what they're parodying so much that they really go into the research first, into the material, so that they can take scenes.
Yeah, I think also with the Depp film in particular, the Tim Burton Ed Wood film, is that there's pathos, especially in the character of Bela Lugosi, who's a drug-addled Hollywood wash-up, and so they play that with such pathos that there's real compassion for the guy.
I have a love-hate with that movie, because I generally like Ed Wood. I think it's a very entertaining movie, a lot of fun. But even Bela Lugosi Jr. was saying how there was so many things wrong with it. Technically, they take liberties. Like he was addicted.
With him swear,
but he was addicted to morphine for pain, for sciatic nerve pain. He wasn't getting high on heroin or anything.
Well, Bela Lugosi Jr. didn't like the fact that he was depicting his dad swearing as well.
Yeah,
and the argument back from the screenwriters was, well, he didn't swear in front of his son, but it didn't mean to say he didn't swear elsewhere.
The actors, your fellow actors that have been interviewed and talked about, never said he would never do that either. But
right.
He didn't hate Karloff, that much.
What movie? I've seen so many scary movies. I don't like scary movies in general. I don't like them. Well, that could be Willard. Yeah. What was the other one? Willard and Ben. Wasn't that the other one? The follow-up, Ben.
No. Well, I love Willard. I saw that in the movie theater when I was 9. But I don't think anybody gets their face eaten off. I don't think you see it. You see that in the movie.
His imagination.
Gets attacked, but
yeah. Well, there's different things when you're a kid. Certain things, like I was mentioning, the Triffids were kind of creepy to me as a kid. Yeah. The birds, when the one scene with the guy laying down in the kitchen with the eyes torn out. That thing scarred me. Just like in Planet of the Apes, when they first land on the planet, then the space girl, he goes over to her. Because everybody's in suspended animation. Her tank failed, and of course she's all disfigured.
That's a creepy moment.
Do you know what I hate too? I don't want to spoiler alert. Everybody, I'm going to talk about Halloween 3. Spoiler alert. So just wait 2 minutes. Go. Okay. Halloween 3. So there's a scene where the kids watch. Everybody's got these pumpkin heads they make them wear, and because it's a gimmick, they say, "Hey, kids, put on your helmet or whatever." And I remember watching this shit, and the little guy's got his little pumpkin head on. They're watching TV. Billy, take off, and they take it off, and it's just fucking maggots. There's no head. It's just maggots pouring out. I just go, ah! I can't stand it, man. That is just horrible.
My favorite horror movie of all time is Night of the Demon. What was called in the US Curse of the Demon, 1957.
That's a very good movie.
I love that movie, and they did such a good transfer of it on Blu-ray on the edition from Powerhouse Indicator, but that's a UK.
I got that one too.
Oh, you get that one? That's great. And
I had a United States DVD that had both versions on it.
Yes.
Then I upgraded to the Indicator.
Well, if you read Johnny Guitar's, out of what's it, the Hurricanes, Johnny Guitar.
Yes. Ringo Starr and.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he went to see. If you read his diaries, he went to see Night of the Demon in December '57, and he called it hokum. I'm not sure I can forgive Johnny Guitar.
No, that's one of the best of the '50s horror genre, and it's serious. It's not the cheesy.
I know there's a couple of films with similar titles. There's one we saw with thriller, Vincent Price in it as kind of a university professor. And then the other one we saw was where the big giant monster was walking, the big demon through black magic and be called up, and the thing's like 80 foot tall, and it running people down and chase him. It was a big, almost like claymation creature that they had created for it.
Are you talking about the Ray Harryhausen one?
It's a monster and it's a demon and it went chasing people, Joe, and it was scary. That was scary.
If it wasn't Night of the Demon, then my nomination would be the Hammer film Brides of Dracula from 1960.
Brides of Dracula, I like it even. I think I like it better than Horror of Dracula or the first Dracula.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, the two fantastic actresses, one being the maid and one being the Baroness, was played by Martita Hunt as the Baroness and Frida Jackson as the sort of this maid that was half nuts herself. But that was a team up of the same two actresses who were in I'm blanking again. What's the book and the film that Mrs. Havisham is in, the Dickens adaptation?
That's Great Expectations.
Yes. Well, in the film, David Lean's film, Great Expectations, you get Martita Hunt and Frida Jackson. So it's like a repairing of those two in Brides of Dracula. Yeah. And and the Baroness is the one who keeps her son in the basement because he's a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
So
and the other girl lets him loose, doesn't know he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Unchains him.
What do you guys, let's go around the panel. Best Dracula movie ever made. Best Dracula movie ever made. There's been so many. One of the most frequent movies ever made, I think, are Dracula movies. It may be the number one character that's been taken to the silver screen more than any other character.
Why can't I think I've seen them all? Why can't I pick one that? Because everyone says the Christopher Lee first. It's Horror of Dracula.
Prince of Darkness.
It's just Dracula in
yes.
But I see the problem I have with that. I mean, Christopher Lee's still young yet. I like Christopher Lee better when he ages in the part a little more. And also, it's very bombastic, speedy, score, and it's action-packed. To me, that's not Dracula. I'll take Lugosi over that, but Lugosi's is a little too stagey and dull.
Yes.
So, I don't know. You mean Rachel, when you ask, are you talking about like the original story of Dracula?
I'm talking about any Dracula you've ever seen. You're going to recommend a Dracula to our audience. Kids, he's a prince. He's a Romanian prince. And he's got a bloodlust that won't quit. Well, Joe's here to tell you which one to watch.
I'd have to go with the Lugosi one. Even a lot of people will fall asleep, I'm afraid. But I have to, because Lugosi's the iconic Dracula.
You have to go with it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, 4D, Dracula.
I can see Joe's rationale for for the original Dracula, and precisely because it's quite slow paced and you've got the Hungarian accent, it feels more true to form. But for me, it would be the '58 Dracula, the Christopher Lee, Peter
Well,
Cushing.
and that answer, believe me, 4D, that would be 99% of Dracula fans would agree. But you
Yeah.
know which Hammer film I like of Dracula that nobody likes much? Scars of Dracula.
69, right?
Dracula.
1969. I like the fact that there you do get the scene where he walks up the wall.
Yeah,
For the
he does
first
that.
time.
That was in
Yeah.
Stoker's novel. I'll tell you what Dracula I won't see. The new one that's out right now. My friend Tom Hunyadi went to see it. It's
Yeah.
it's a romantic. It's all lovey dovey. You know, I know some past movies have put a little of the romantic element in there. Even Christopher Lee was kind of like charming in a way.
Oh, well, they always had the sexy girl vampire.
Yeah, but he's got to be the villain. Dracula has to be a bad guy at the end of the day. To me.
Yeah. The one the film I like, we saw it at the theater. I think, Sue, you saw it with me. This is going back to like 88 or something with Frank Languella's, when he was in the role. That was taken very seriously. And it was honestly, to me, it was quite frightening and intense filled. Especially, you were talking about walking up the wall. When he walks up the wall,
That's a good
that
scene.
is
That's a good
creepy
scene.
as hell. You
They call him
dig?
Disco Dracula sometimes. He got the puffed up hair. But I think
Yeah, he was poofy.
it's actually a 1979 release for that. I
Was
believe.
that 79? Frank
I believe-
Languella was
I believe.
79?
And I watched that not too long ago. I pulled out the Blu-ray on it, and yeah, well, it has a nice atmosphere to it. But
And the scene, and it's very true to at least it's somewhat true to the novel. I get like the onboard ship scene when he goes up the yard arm, and that's all kind of exciting. That
yeah, I
final
know.
battle.
At the ending, you mean?
Yeah.
At the end? Yeah, I don't know.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't think the book ends like that. But none of them are 100% faithful to the book, and that includes Bram Stoker's Dracula, aka Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
Yeah, there's the 92 one.
Yeah,
I like Dracula, Prince of Dark. I've got a copy of that. That's a very good film. And a lot of the tropes we come to associate with Dracula are in that Hammer film. So
that's a good one. Dracula doesn't utter a word in that one. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Christopher Lee said the dialogue was so bad. I told him I'll say nothing in it other than say that.
Yeah, I just want and the eyes that Christopher Lee.
But that's a good one. I like that one. And in that one, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, the way they revive Dracula too, they have to hang a victim and hang him upside down over his coffin and slash his throat. The blood goes into the coffin.
Yeah, and resurrect them.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal, kids. This is one I think 4D and Joe and myself will all agree on. Dracula's appearance in The Magic Christian, walking in slow motion down the alleyway. Of
Well, that's nice, but I was too busy being mesmerized by Raquel Welch.
Raquel Welch in the galley. When she's got the whip and the galleon, and the one guy's going, more, please. More.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Yeah. Unbelievable.
I'm just trying to find a soundtrack for you guys, but I might.
Okay, Raquel, can you ask Joe?
Going to be out by 15 minutes ago.
Joe, we got a question for you. Have you ever seen the great movie The Night Listener? The Night Listener.
Is that with Hayden Rourke? Night Walker, I'm thinking of. Oh, I know what you're talking. Oh, stop. I know what you're doing.
Stop it, Raquel.
Get out of here, you. That's a joke. That's a
trouble.
joke with Danny. Danny.
Is that one Danny?
It's an ongoing joke. I didn't realize it was Richard James.
Yeah. And Jen loves the Dracula and the Magic Christian scene because Christopher Lee shows up. Everything's going nuts. It's such a stone scene. So Joe, so 3 channels right now, but you're thinking of maybe bringing it down to 2. So.
It's terrible because I'm the first one to laugh at myself about it. It's like, you don't understand, Rachel. I get like, well, I'm going to get rid of the retirement channel. I'm just going to put it. So I take a lot of the videos, I transport them over. And you lose views every time you do that because people have seen it already. Put them on my main channel. And a day or 2 later, it's like, nah, I think I'll go back to having 3 channels. And I transport them all back. Look. It's insane.
I kind of like maybe for a 4Ds thing where you set apart Joe Mayo, it's going to be Movie Friday, or we're going to do that. But maybe you like it more being more free to decide what you're going to do.
I can't do that, because I'm more free. It depends when I see a movie or when, like, there's Beatles news.
When the inspiration to motivate you to.
But I'm not worried about the movie channel. You see, I don't mind. In fact, I quite like having a music and Beatles channel together, and then a movie channel separate. I have no problem with that. It's the retirement stuff I want to do that I'm thinking, should I put that over on me, Mr. Mayo? A lot of people who like the Beatles are older people. Not all. Thank God for you youngins out there, the ones that keep the flame going.
What about here? I'm just spitballing. What about doing shorts to handle that aspect of thing? Hey, I'll just do the retirement stuff in my shorts, and all my shorts will be kind of like that.
Yeah, I thought of that too. I'm big on short videos because they're like commercials. I look at them as ads for your channel, and people subscribe to your channel if they like the shorts.
Well, and YouTube, apparently Jen was telling us that YouTube's right in behind the shorts and promoting the heck out of them.
Yeah. You had trouble with them? Did you have trouble with the shorts? You put them on and something happened?
I had trouble because my idea was to go with soundtracks and the like, and you can't use music. And being a music channel, I thought, hey, it'd be fun to do creative little shorts about the music, because all we do is talk music.
I remember your videos used to have the thing going around.
Yeah. And
By the way, that's a wonderful looking sleeve there for that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, 4D, we'll make it big for the kids.
This is a much denounced film because they brought Hammer's Dracula into the
Well, the only
modern
problem
day.
I have with it is that he's confined to the church for the whole damn thing.
Yes, and that's a big problem, Joe. It's a massively flawed film, but I'll tell you, when that film came out, my crowd, we just turned 13 years of age, which means we couldn't get in because it was an X, and it was in a cinema where the cinema manager was not friendly to letting underage people into X's, but it was a multiplex, and Paul Newman's The Legend of Judge Roy Bean, that was on. So the sympathetic lady behind the counter said, "Well, that's a good Western. Why don't you go there?" Because we were all dejected. The five of us were very dejected, and without saying anything to any of us, telepathically we knew what we were going to do. So we agreed. We went in to see it. As soon as the lights went down and the usherettes pissed off, we went out and went into the Dracula AD 72. But the thing is, if you remember, there's a prologue to that film that kicks it off.
I love
Do you
the
remember
prologue.
that? Right. Well, we walked in on the prologue, and we thought we'd walked in on the ending. So we're walking down the aisle trying to be inconspicuous, and the tallest one of us, who's the one whose voice had dropped before any of us, said out loud, "Fucking hell, we've missed it now." Everybody looking around when we're trying to just walk towards the front of it. And it was only then, when the main titles came up, that we realized, oh, we haven't missed it. And so now every time I see that film, and I loved it when I saw it when I was 13, but it's now so inextricably tied up with the memories of seeing it for the first time that I'm not able to critically evaluate it. I just love the film so much.
Oh, that happens.
Yeah,
That's like me and the Omega Man, which I saw when I was 9 years old. That's one of my favorite films. But
Well.
Dracula AD, I was saying how they confine Dracula to the church. He doesn't go outside of the church.
Yes.
But another movie that came out in 1972, which may have not a pleasant title or a funny title, is a modern day vampire film. And it's
Blackula?
Blackula.
Yeah,
Blackula,
Blackula.
yeah.
We saw
I
that
like
too,
that
Joe.
better.
We saw that too.
I think that's better than Dracula AD 72.
Well, yeah, it's a famous blaxploitation film. It falls in that genre, and I forget what the story was on the actor that played Blackula, but
William Marshall. He was fantastic. He was really good.
yeah, didn't he do Star Trek? I want to say, did he do a Star Trek
episode?
I think he did Star Trek as well. Okay, here, look at this, Christopher Lee. Some argue the greatest of all the Draculas.
So this is
A lot of people like him.
This is a James Bernard score, but it's a double album, so you also get his score for Curse of Frankenstein as well.
Curse of Frankenstein, I like better than Dracula.
So there's that one.
Because Peter Cushing is such a great Baron Frankenstein.
Back in the day, my mates and I bought this album, which is
Oh yes,
it's Christopher Lee narrating
yeah,
parts of Dracula with some of the score on the B side to different Hammer films. So there's that
yeah.
one, and this has got nothing to do with Hammer films, but this is a score for Vincent
Oh,
Price's
yeah.
Theatre of Blood.
That's fun. That movie.
Yeah, and it's quite a poignant score, actually. He scores the sadness of a guy who was critically denounced, so he went for the sadness rather than the sensationalist aspect. But because of what Joe just said, if you give me a minute,
He's gonna get the Blackula soundtrack.
I sure as hell don't have this one. Does anyone have the Texas Chainsaw Hookers vinyl? No, don't have that one, Ricardo. My God.
No,
Oh my God. There's one born every second. Ricardo, behave himself on your show, Joe. Does he behave?
sure.
All right. Good boy, Ricardo. Keep it up. He's a character, that Ricardo Jimenez. We love him around here, but boy, he can be trouble. Look out for
These are
him.
the kind. I hate to tell you, these are the kind of horror themed shows I've been wanting to do on my channel, and I can never get anybody that knows any of this stuff or that wants to talk about any of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
now what about the idea? Because you're your own man. You do your show. Danny's your sidekick. But have you ever thought of say, hey, I'd like to get 4D and talk about and get a couple of
No,
people.
no. Well,
that
the
are
thing with
knowledgeable.
Danny, that's just our little odd couple thing. That's not to
Yeah.
do with. That's just us talking and goofing off on.
Yeah, rapping.
But
Yeah.
I like to do dedicated horror shows. Oh, there it is. I actually have that too. Yeah.
So reach anytime you want to do something where you think I know something about anything, Joe. I'm always happy to
I-
come on over and
I
talk
will
to you about anything.
definitely take you up on that. But this, you want to talk about scores? A lot of people look down on that score. That is
Yeah.
almost my very favorite movie score. By
brilliant.
Ron Grainer.
It's brilliant. Ron Grainer is the guy who did the original TV theme for Doctor Who and the original TV theme for Steptoe and Son.
Did he do The Prisoner?
Yes, and he did the original theme for The Prison. So the UK people know Ron Grainer from that.
Oh, no, I love that soundtrack. My God, I love that.
But this is the best thing he ever did. Every track on this is just marvelous,
it.
and what he doesn't do. The unfortunate thing when you buy film soundtracks is you're going to buy repetition. So you'll get a love theme and you'll get about 3 variations of the love theme. You'll get a main title theme and you'll get 2 or 3 variations of that. So you're hearing a lot of recycling going on. This guy has got so many melodies going on and atmospheric tracks in this that there's hardly any repetition.
It feels like melancholia in some scenes.
Yes, it does.
A wonderful vibe. I love that soundtrack.
The thing
Yeah.
that we watched The Prisoner a couple of years ago. Well, can't remember how many episodes, like a season thing. But they filmed it in Port Marion, which my family has the connection with the town. But apart from all that, when they had All You Need Is Love, they put that in as
It's amazing they got
a
that.
Beatles thing, and it's so the juxtaposition of the series. And they had Leo McEachern, who was in Help.
Leo McKern,
Leo McKern. So, which is really interesting. There's that Beatles connection doubled up in there with The Prisoner. But great series that was, and very British at the end of the day. I loved it quite a bit. Sue and I both enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's typically British insofar as it's so eccentric, and if you look at some of the last episodes of Danger Man from the Patrick McGowan series that preceded that, so if you look at the 1965-66 series, especially the last one, which was called Not So Jolly Roger, and that episode was partly filmed on an oil rig, which was doubling as a pirate radio station. So the MI5 discovered that the pirate radio station was actually broadcasting espionage messages. So Patrick McGowan, his entrance in that TV episode, which is very unusual for low budget TV episodes, he's coming in on a helicopter, going down onto this oil rig, posing as a DJ. So he's a spy posing as a DJ, and it's so quirky.
It's surreal, yeah.
Yeah, and you see him introducing on the microphone the next record, and he's spinning the 45, and it's a very long intro, a very long guitar intro, and he puts it on. And in the middle of the long intro, he just chimes in and said, "What's the matter, Johnny? Forgot the words?" And then clicks it back off again. There's all these little quips
Yeah,
that go on.
quirky. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
creative.
that used to be part of British character, that
Yeah,
there would be an acceptable slot for eccentrics where you could in some way or another, just like the Ealing Studios typified, that you could be off the beaten track and be nonconformist, and it was accepted. That was part
yeah.
of
There
British
was a kind
culture.
of an edge with it. It was kind of a
Yeah.
cool. It's quirky, but it's kind of there's a cool element about yeah.
Yes, and
Uh,
my point is, that wasn't just in the quirky films. Those films were drawing from an actual characteristic that
of
was in
the
the
British
population. Yeah,
psyche. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. And you obviously, I defer to you. You would know more than me about it, but I can readily see it. This is kind of an interesting one. There's a creepy classic, Carnival of Souls. That is available.
Oh
You
yeah,
can watch that on
yeah.
YouTube. Criterion added it to their collection. It's very good.
It's funny.
And
I've
yeah,
never
you're
got
right.
into
It is
that. I just
creepy.
saw it again recently. I appreciate the mood and the
Yeah.
atmosphere of it. You know, the ghostly feel of it. But never been a big fan. But it's good.
Joe, have you ever seen the movie Phantom Carriage?
No.
Is
It's
that
available on YouTube.
animation? Animation?
It's a silent film. I believe
Oh,
it's Polish.
right.
And
wait a minute.
so you got to use titles for it. But the restoration is so good. It's a 1921 film, I believe, and it's silent, but it's so good. And I can't recommend it for anybody here watching it. Phantom Carriage, look it up. But somebody, grabbed a copy of Criterion, so it's a beautiful transfer. It looks like it could have been made yesterday,
Nice.
and yet you're looking at some people, actors that were born in the 1860s, 1870s.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's running side by side with your interest in genealogy there, Rachel.
Well, yeah,
There's a
I've done
theme.
all
There's a
that.
theme.
Rachel, do you have to use reverb? I'm not, Mike. It's just one of the guys, either Joe
It's me.
or yeah, he may
Some
have a fan going or something maybe
No,
on in the.
there's no fan, and I did the echo cancellation, so I don't, and I've got YouTube muted, so I don't know where the echo is coming from.
It just happens from time to time.
The radio waves.
Yeah, so we put up with it, Mike. When you got good guests like this, you put up
Oh
with
yeah, like you say, me too. I'd love to do an episode with you guys on my show that I do, Mayo's Monster Mash. I do that over.
Oh,
I
cool.
do that over at my.
Yeah, I'd happily appear
Yeah,
on that with you, Joe.
yeah, me
It
too.
was fun. I enjoy you as a person, and
Thank you.
I got to admit, I'm a little envious. Whether you're on Long Island, New York, I don't care. You're in the great one of the great cities of the world, and
Yeah, I'm
boy, oh
kind of
boy, the
spoiled.
stuff you could do for your channel. Yeah, I know you go to the record store, but you think of all the great film locations. Studio 54, you go down there, all that stuff. Of course, you don't want to get shot in certain areas of town.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm
Uh,
not. I don't know. I
Goes on
think
Long
that's
Island.
kind of. These days, I don't know anymore. I don't know what to think about the city anymore. I haven't, like I say, I haven't been
I
there.
know. The one change is the one constant is change. I even some of the big Los Angeles kind of YouTubers talk about the change that has happened in LA, and they bemoan the fact that within a short period of time, so many historic landmarks in the entertainment field have gone missing. They're no longer there, and it's always a shame. You want to protect your past, but it's
I wa-
like in England, where so often things seem to be taken for granted. That's been there for so long.
I
The
want
new
to.
houses are the ones built. Like you go see an old church or so. Oh yeah, that's not the new. This isn't the original church. This is the all update one. We upgraded it in 1570. You go. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking the new church.
I want to ask. I want to ask Joe about one of the horror films I also saw when I was 13 years old. I know what Rachel thinks about this because we talked about it the other week, and I get the feeling that Joe's a bit of a traditionalist. So I'm still really interested if you don't like it, Joe, because I'm always interested in the reasons why. So it's not just that you need to be agreeable. I'll be very interested if you don't like it. But when we were 13, with a more affable cinema manager who did allow 13-year-olds to go in, we saw a double bill of Don't Look Now, the Donald Sutherland movie, that was doubling with The Wicker Man, which they threw away as a B picture on the back of that release. So my memories are from right from the first release of that film. So I'm guessing, Joe, I've already stereotyped you as a traditionalist, you understand. So I'm guessing that you would have a problem with The Wicker Man, but you tell me what you think of it.
You talking about the Christopher Lee Wicker Man?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, let's put it this way. Don't Look Now. I for some reason, I don't know if I've seen it, but I've
Okay.
definitely seen The Wicker Man. It's been many years. In fact, I think I have it on that shelf back there on a DVD or something.
All
And I
right.
liked it. I
Oh,
did
cool.
like it. But
Right.
I remember I liked it, but I can't. It's not one of those that's burned into my brain that I've seen many times. But I did see it and liked it.
Right. Well. I mean, Rachel said it's got a nasty vibe to it, which it definitely has got a sort of a nasty vibe to it behind the paganism. But when we went to see it, we were confused by it. And Don't Look Now, which is about Donald Sutherland being a telepath and a psychic, and he goes to Venice to do some mosaic work on a Venice church. That kind of horror film that grabbed us immediately. So out of the two films, the one that really grabbed us was Don't Look Now, which I still think is the better film, but the more original film was the Wicker Man. It was so original that we just didn't know what to make of it. We just came out confused.
Yeah, and it's been so long since I've seen it. While I remember that I liked it, I don't remember much about it. And I think I heard somewhere along the line, I mean, if I'm right, that Christopher Lee always cited that as a good movie. It's one of his best performances, I think he even thought.
Yeah, he said it was the best film he ever starred in.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Chris, a really interesting guy to play two iconic characters in the pop culture realm, Dracula and Sauron the Great. Sauron, the evil, malevolent.
One movie I want to touch on because I'm already late anyway, so I'm too late. But anyway, I do want to ask her. There's a movie that I'm in England, of course. It's known as City of the Dead, and I grew up with it on Horror Hotel here in
Yes.
the US.
Horror Hotel, my God.
I love that movie.
Yes,
Christopher Lee's in that too.
That's atmospheric. Isn't that the one with a lot of smoke on the ground? That's my main
Yeah, a
memory
lot
of
of smoke on it, almost like what we're looking at there, almost.
that. Yeah.
And it's about witchcraft and Whitewood.
Yeah, and there are a few films at the time like that, Joe, like the one with Barbara Steele.
Black Sunday.
Yeah, Black Sunday, but also one called, is it Witchcraft? There's two different titles, US and UK. And I think Lon Chaney, was Lon Chaney in one
He
of
was
those?
in one called Witchcraft.
Yeah, so that one as well that's got a lot of smoke on the ground as well.
Because anytime somebody says, "Can you recommend like a good horror movie to me?" I recommend, if you've never seen it, I call it Horror Hotel. It'll always be Horror Hotel to me. It's called City of the Dead, actually, and it's 1960. Came right around the time of Psycho, and in some ways, people think they used ideas from Psycho, or they don't know if Psycho used ideas from City of the Dead, because there's some certain similarity I won't ruin in there.
But it's very atmospheric. If you're somebody who likes horror more for atmosphere than gore.
Yeah, atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, great conversation today, folks. I think we'll wrap her up. It's been a really good show, and it's a very nice detour to talk, especially with these two gentlemen about the Universal horror films. Folks, if you can get this box set, pick it up. It's a good one. Classic monsters. They're all there. I like The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I like that film. But anyway, everybody, please subscribe to Joe. And 40, don't be scarce. We need you more than ever nowadays. We're just not getting the people coming up lately. It's kind of funny. I'm going to have to get a new sidekick or somebody like.
Well, I came in a little bit in the past. I don't want to start anything up, but a few days ago or whatever, and I saw something. At least one of the regulars isn't here lately.
Yeah. Well, it's the politics thing, and basically, I talked about that. It's just a very difficult time for a lot of people, and all the Minnesota stuff was the latest catalyst for the latest hiccup on the program. But it's what you can do. I got a great little clip of Bill Maher basically addressing the same thing in his social circle. So he's going through what I'm going through. So it's just the times we live in. It's all interesting.
Well, what I said to Loki about live and let live is live and let live is actually very hard. It sounds so easy, but it's very hard to. I find it very hard to do, and sometimes I won't do it as well. Just to live and let live can be so tough to do. But if you can make it and tolerate people, say in chat that you don't necessarily like, and just let them get on with being themselves, then that's really, when I say that's all it takes, that makes it sound like it's simple, and I wish it were, but really that's what it takes. It's just a bit of live and let live.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tug my ear, Carol Burnett style.
Yeah, Carol Burnett.
Good talking to both of you.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Everybody.
Cheers, Joe.
Legend that is Joe Mayo, ladies and gentlemen. And 4D, thanks again, as always. Really appreciate your take on things and what you bring to the discussion. And it's a lot, and it's appreciated.
Okay.
All right, and Marty, thank you for coming by earlier in the show, for doing the heavy lifting early on. Take care, everybody. We're going to be back on Friday for the Patreon. Please consider joining my Patreon. $5 a month gets you in. You get a few extra shows, one extra show a week. And you get Sue more often than not. She hangs out with us. We have a good time. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for now. Take care. Bye.